Good morning. This is Engineer Suraj saying again to you to disturb you, but this is in relation to different subject. Till now, I had given you videos related to economy of Bharat and some other political, but this subject which was previously given to you is power of soul, and I think I did not talk to you about this issue for last 1 week, for I was busy in subject of Bharat economy. Now once again I come to this point of power of soul as I discontinued before, but again some files have been made ready which were absent, which are missing due to certain reasons. I lost and now recovered those files by recomposition, and I am again here in your service to submit to you my proposition, my mind. It's not a guaranteed subject. First, I'm going to tell you this is a power of soul, which depends upon belief, which depends upon also logic if you accept, which is also a science if you accept. This is not science in terms of physics and chemistry and biology, which are body-related science, which are physical science-related science, but this is science which of imagination, hypothecation. If you believe, if you don't believe, no meaning, no dispute on that. I am a human being. I have a right to think. You are also a human being. You have a right to think or to reject or to accept. It's up to you. No dispute on that. My mind, I am here to express. My soul says you have to express this, and I am doing that. Nothing is in my control and nothing is in your control. It depends upon each individual how one takes it. I believe in soul because I consider it an entity which cannot be seen but can be affected with. For example, an electrical current, we cannot see it moving, we cannot see it working, but we can get appliances work based on this. We can't know, we can't see physically what electrical current works with, how it works. Do you know? You can know only when you touch it or you use it. Similarly, our soul, whether it exists or it does not exist, is a question for all, and which is a logical question and must be answered. But answer cannot be made by physical explanation, by scientific and logical explanation, and by some other explanation which can be included in this universe. But there is a truth that we all have been living since we got birth, and we will one day leave this planet and go away to our heavenly abode, so-called heavenly abode or permanent home. But in this period between death and birth, we continue to live as physical entity on this planet. What does that mean? This means that there is some power working within me since I got birth and time when I have to go back after a living charge here, and that is called in our terms death or expiration of body. This was there is some force in between two in continuity without any break, which inputs us, which provides an input to each person to live. And what that power is not known. Even to physicians, to doctors, to other scientists, it's not known, it is only felt. We can feel it, yes, we are living. The time we leave this body, we may feel we are not living in body, maybe. I don't know. I have not experienced that because still I am here on this planet. I shall know only when I say goodbye to this planet. It's my travel for a few decades on this planet. Is a part of my journey in this universe or universes, and I feel and I believe that some power, extreme power, superpower, unlimited extent and massive power has been working and continues to work in a universal mode all around us, all time, full dedication, without any break, service us. That thought contemplates in me. It may contemplate in you, it may not contemplate in you out of dispute. But as a person, as a qualified, educated person on this planet, I'm not talking I'm educated about other planets. There may be different qualifications, but on this planet, whatever education standards are concerned to be in to define a stratum from where you can say this person is literate or illiterate. I consider myself to some degree literate, and based on that capacity or competency of being a literate, I am just trying to propose my thoughts to you, my contemplation with a disclaimer that this is not proven. It cannot be proven. It can be felt, it can be believed, it can be understood, and it can be implied with, without any legal complication or without any legal binding or natural binding or physical binding or social binding or political binding or claimable binding. It's all simple in this sense. I am an ordinary person, a very simple person, but my body is same as your body. It has been operating, and all bodies are operating, have been operating all over world in this globe, even bodies of other creatures which are not human being. So without going further to take your time in explanation of what I want to say, I simply say it's up to you. You are welcome if you cooperate with me in deliberating this issue, or if you are not interested, even then thank you very much, because this subject is like that. You accept. If I say sun, I don't believe in sun. Shall it affect sun? It shall not affect sun. If somebody says, I don't value what sun is, I don't accept. Some people worship sun, some people don't worship sun. Some people worship nature, some people don't worship nature. Some people believe in God, some people believe in Allah, some people believe in Jesus. Up to them, no problem. They can believe anything. So if I say this is no sun, there is no use of sun, it will not work. Same thing, it goes to soul. Soul is a power. It is called a superpower. It is called Atma. It is called a part of nature. It is called a ruler of nature. It is up to us whether or not to believe in that way or in another way. No issue. I have explained in past about this subject, because this subject I did not get any qualification from or did not refer to any books, but just on my own thinking and contemplation and using my energy for this purpose for many years, which I started in 92, you can say long back, and gradually coming in and out, going further with some steps, experimenting on peoples and thinking on what properties and parameters, these soul and relative numbers, which I am going to discuss. Actually, I am not a soul expert, but I am bringing soul because soul is moving through our body, and there are some enlightenment, there are some characters, and there are some parameters, and there are some attributes attached to soul in locations of soul in our body, which I have experienced and I have explained to you in past videos, which are 5 videos, and this is 6th one. And there's so many explanations I have given to you, but I'm just recalling that, reminding, refreshing you, because there may be many people, many viewers who are not involved with me in these 5 videos in the past, but now is better to refresh for a few minutes so that we just all understand we are talking about. What I started with in this was regarding Atma, regarding soul, which is power of soul, and which is over strength of soul, which is called spirit. Spirit is strength of soul, just like you can say weight of soul, or you can say action of soul, and intensity of soul, or density of soul, whatever you may call it, in your understanding, your approach. And soul is soul, which is passing through all people, coming from Almighty, which is sitting where its seat is, irrespective of considerations. I started that one long back, and we talked about palm. Palm I talked because not related to this subject, but palm has something else to do, which I explained before, that palm is part of palmistry, a part of astrology. I'm not sure what, because I'm not a palmist and I don't want to discuss that. I discuss that only because from medical point of view, because everybody has got 2 hands and no palm, and we have one brain with 2 hemispheres, and one hemisphere is connected to one palm, and other one is connected to cross the other palm. They say that left hemisphere is connected to right hand, and right hemisphere is connected to left hand because of certain reasons. One is dependent on logics, and one is dependent on not logics. One is dependent on supply of soul energy to brain from God to your body, and the other one is using that soul energy in a form of rationalization, in a form of scientific based on analysis and all that. That is called other hemisphere. So you can see generally it is considered the right hand is connected to left hemisphere, right hand is used for purpose of resolution of for purpose of applications of and that is called a rational mathematical based thinking side, whereas the left hand is connected to right hemisphere, and that is signals are issued from nature, and that is called a spiritual hand. You can say a hand that gives you luck. And I just discussed there are some mountains on a palm. There are 2 types of mounts. I explained the rectangular palm, there is square palm, and mixed palm. These are 3 major palms. Rectangular limited to, I explained rectangular form, which is longer side and shorter side, both linked to imagination, hypothetication, and you can say a word which is not seen, which is not proven in, that is called kalpana in Hindi. We call it hyperfixation, or you can say imagination and all that. And this is because of skepticism. Where other square one is by the square indicates practically the length of that is equal square. One square means you can move in a square station. You just not speak or think, just think, but do something in a concrete fashion that was affected on a square hand, whereas there is some hand which lies between the rectangular hand and the square hand, and that's called mixed hand. Mixed hand means a person who can dispose of and work out with between imaginative power and between result-oriented power, and that is called mixed. I explained to all that, and I explained that there are so many mounts on hand, and these mounts are by name. You can say from starting from first finger, and that's called Jupiter, and then goes to Saturn, and then goes to Sun, and then goes to Mercury, and after that comes down to Mars, and then down to Moon, and then goes to Venus, and after that again Mars, and then goes to Jupiter back, and in between is a valley which is called valley of Mars, energy valley. Mars means energy. This is found on both sides, and there are some meanings of those which I explained earlier. No need to repeat that, but I just find reminding you that these are called operations of hand, palms, and mountainous area gives me energy, and mountains means some mount is up and some down. Means you have some energy up and down. They call in the science of palms that these are developed or undeveloped mounts. I'm talking of those mounts developed. Some contours are there, and some contours are higher, some contours are lower. It depends upon that. You are having lower, the contour which is higher, for example, has higher property. Contour which is lower means has lower property. This is regarding mount. There are certain graphics on that. Lines are elected. Nothing to do with me to discuss with you, because that is different issue, and I'm not interested in that. I just explained to you how it works with body, and there are so many people who don't have their palms even, and they live in life and earth. That is just a temporary. This is a means to you to live. Now come back to the point of that, how we are all living in a spectrum of magnetic waves, electromagnetic waves, and everybody is dipped in, and we are hung by those waves, and that is called magnetic envelope around all of us. This magnetic envelope is carrying our body, and it enters our body from our genital points that I named as it one. I number numbers because I'm talking about numbers, which means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These numbers enter our body, and these numbers have certain locations in our body. These numbers are used, same numbers as used in our studies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And here also I'm using the same number, because these numbers are referral numbers. These are not original numbers, and these are not my numbers. These are numbers used by all, and there's no patent or something like that. It's not a question is where I'm just keeping these numbers in my body, and just to understand how body works, their functions, their relations with the mother, we then decide properties and parameters, and you can say attributes of these numbers. That is what is required. Now, for example, I said that I just reminding that it's already there in the video. You can go through it, and maybe you save time. And just I have written this on many files, and you can see on this video itself there is a text in backside of video. So everything is written there. There is a complete pool of information available there. URL there, descriptions are there. There are many files available there. There are number data files, and there are number files, and there are interpretations files. There are introduction file and explanation files, and there are many other diagrams available regarding how these numbers work. And there are very diagrams regarding what is life, and how woman works, and how bomb works, and all this there. And there are so many explanations and evidences, and you can see conclusions, and so many issues. There are many files, many pages, and there are something related to Saturn also, which is linked to direct luck, which is also explained there. And I cannot explain everything in 1 minute or 1 hour or 2, 3 hours, because it's a long subject based on many years of research. You can say from 92 onwards, I have been working on this just based on my own capability, without any interruptions from any source or whatever source. And I've collected some information, which is right or wrong, but based on my experience with so many talks to people, interviews in person and all over, where have been in past years with many nationalities I discussed this subject with, and they all did not believe in the first instance, but later on, after a few months, when I discussed with them about what happens to you and how these numbers can apply to your body, and they used to come after that of a few minutes, of less of a few months, and they say, okay, you told me this one, it has happened, please tell me how can I appropriately go further so that it doesn't affect me adversely. And this happens with all, and people still come to me and ask, this is my date of birth, please tell me what's the interpretation of date of birth. And I just suggest them, I don't claim that, I just ask that your date of birth to be right, exact, accurate, and don't tell me date of birth, that's written on certificate, but tell me date of birth, which is actual one. Because if it's not actual, I am not interested in time. Just take me exact date, exact month, and exact century year. We can understand what this is. We can just tell what is the meaning of the general expression of the date of birth. It can tell you about generality, about your personality, and about destiny and totality. There are so many formulas to work out based on many formulas available in the universe, and we can say that this means that. But for that, we have to understand what number is 0 to 9, and we have, if we understand meanings of those numbers, interpretation of those numbers, and characteristics, parameters, and you can say attributes, we can interpret, we can construct meaning of those relatively, not basically. I'm not claiming that this talk is basic, nothing is basic here. I'm just considering these points value to points available in our body, and let us reflect again what these points are. And maybe I'm talking too long, no problem. I'm talking too fast, happily. I don't take more. I am not interested in taking a lot of time, so I'm just rapidly talking. But you all know very good English, I am sure. And I later on I'll issue in Hindi language because I'm interested to see that this video goes to all over world. No, I'm not only north portion of Bharat. Or South people will not understand. West people will not understand. Bengalis will not understand. And so what's the use of only a limited figure in Delhi, Haryana, Punjab, and all these people, UP and the stand and others? My service should go to each and every country, each and every citizen, because this is universal work. This is not a Bharat work, or this is not limited to Punjab or limited to Delhi or Jammu and Kashmir. This must go to humanity, and I shall give later on other videos in Hindi as to an extent possible, because I cannot do all work again. If you are interested to translate, you can translate, but it's not easy until you have basic understanding of this subject. So what I'm just reminding you to recollect that there are 9 digits, and you can say 10 digits, 0 to 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are located in our body as well as outside of our body in this universe, in this solar system, and we have to see that first. Let us say we start with number 1. 1 enters at genital point, which is called ordinary private part. That number is 1, which means that this power can enter your body, and there can be discharge through your genital in any form. It may be urinal discharge, or it may be some other form of discharge in your personal sexual life. And then you can say this entry, exit, and authority, or lead, or you can say whatever meanings you can give. When you enter somewhere, you get authority. This is understood the sequence of life. When you exit from that point, means you leave this point and go away. So entry, exit, and authority is there. Lead you. If you enter here, you lead also. So there's also lead. And when you lose something, is authority, lead, entry, exit. All this point is attribute of number 1. It's like that. Let us go to number point 2, and I consider point 2 is number of area where our real material, our natural material, our pure material, like Amrit, like Marusi, I call that a Marusi electrolyte of body, and that is called Samin, or Hindi it is called Sanskrit. That location is called number 2 because the store of material which comes through your body's operation, because it's not directly available. It has so many chemical processes pass through from whatever you eat, and then goes to many stages. This goes to stages of juice, it just equally goes to stages of blood, and this goes to stages of your bone, and then it goes to some bone, what you call bone marrow, and that's called maza or whatever you call it, and then at the end it goes to formation of seminal electrolyte of your body, and that is called real storage of having a complete process in train of production, and this is called number 2. Then number 2 means it is your material, it is your store. This material has many functions, can be used from many angles. This can be used for your taking your energy to the upper layer of your aura and mind, and discharging your power to somewhere else. Both functions are there, but this is material for you. And if you go to the upper higher level, and that's called, so I have explained number 1 and number 2. Number 1 is at genital location, number 2 is store, which is your body's store. Similarly, so they go with number 3, and that is your novel portion, that is in Hindi called Suni, and this is considered center of your location, center of your movement. And here this means either it's a making or breaking, means if you go from, it can allow you to take your power from this level upward to a mind, that's called making. If you take this from downward to your genital discharge or genital use, it's called breaking. So this is number 3, and if you go further upward in the heart zone, it is called number 4, which heart is related to emotions, and heart is related to conscious, and heart is related to, you can say, liquidity, and heart is related to sentiments. All powers are there. Heart is related to no solidity, and if you go, it's related to dynamism also, because dynamic work is done by your heart. So this is number 4 zone, which is this type of property. These are not very solid properties, only flexible properties, dynamic properties, but not solid properties. There is movement, and there is solution, and there is dissolution as well, and there is so many things apply there, so many properties and attributes apply there at heart zone. And from 1 to 4 is your body, which is ruled by your head, and this portion is working all time with everybody, because one has to live in this world. Without these attributes you cannot live in this world. So even if you have no mind, if you even if you have no basis to think, you have to survive in this world, and these four locations exist, work. Even if you don't have energy, you have smallest energy, you can survive in this zero, in the 1 to 4 points, 1 2 3 4. Then just to continue explanation further, that I would say 5 6 7 8 9 points are also there. Yes, 5 are there, but 5 is not in body. You can say, consider this way, that there's a connection between lower body and head, and that point may be called number 5, but that is not guided point. That is a link to number 5. You can say it is linked to number 5. I consider, why I consider, I'll explain to you, but why I consider 5 is there? 5 is there because it's connected to a location where our power sits, our superpower sits, whom we consider our God in whatever religion we consider. I'm not taking name of religion here, because that is not related to the subject. Is religion the subject I'm talking to? It is soul, and soul got religion. No religion. Soul is religion. That's only body belongs to religion, which we assume not even that belongs to religion, because it's produced by nature, and nature got no religion. So I'm saying the soul is connected to main functionary, main power, main authority, and that is God in whatever form. Then if you come down upwards, if you go to upper levels, you can say, for example, mind. I consider mind, or forehead, and the structure behind forehead. Forehead is not mind. Forehead is just a cover. It's, you can say, sleeve. It's a containment. Our forehead and skull are containment. In this contain a brain structure, a mind. It's a powerful, complicated design mechanism, which is even not clear to expert medicos. Yet it works there from beginning of life to end of life. It works there, and it rules our body down to up. And this mind is represented by 6. 6, I'm telling mind. 6 means there are so many, you can say, properties, so many attributes attached to this mind. It constructs something, it maintains something, it destructs something. It thinks something, it takes decision on that thinking, it rejects or it accepts. Means it's a judiciary power, it's thinking power, it's execution power. It thinks what feedbacks come from whatever source, and it feels also when something comes is bad or good. It feels your taste also when you eat something is bitter taste, or it is sweet taste, or it is salty taste. Means your mouth tells your mind that I am coming to you, tell me what I am. Mind tells that yes, you are sour, you are all this. This means it is connected to whole body. When I am talking something, means I'm not talking because I want to talk, or my tongue wants to talk, or my teeth tell tongues to talk. No, it's not that way. My mind is asking me, my mouth, my complete mechanism, that you speak like this. There's a speak mechanism there. There's an utterance mechanism there. There's a thinking mechanism there. Every mechanism working behind my mouth. But my mouth is a device. It's a device to release sound in certain script, and that is released. But ultimately it's mind that is asking it. It's getting energy to speak from my 1 to 4. 1 to 4 I'm taking food, it starts functioning, I'm getting energy from nature. 1 to 4 it is coming, and 4 is telling me. So I consider too much talking for nothing is also called number 4. So my mouth is connected to 4, you may say, though connection is there in heart zone, but mind is number 6. 5, I told you that it is located far distant remote distance. We know where it is located, but it's there. Control is there. Why control is there, I'll discuss with that also. Now 6 has got many properties: judicial properties, decision properties, processing properties, thinking properties, destruction properties, maintenance properties, constructive properties, all come into 6. 6 is in, you can say, executive ruler, because it's not total ruler. Total ruler is God. Then on this is coming imaginary. This is all physically what I told you, number 1 2 3 4 6, and all this in body. These are physical, because these are connected to body and internal of body, internal spectrum of body. And Atma moves like this, the soul moves like this, enters at number 1 2 3 4, and then 6, and then again exit from 6 to another spectrum which is controlled directly by nature, and that is named in our language aura, or you may call whatever you may call, I don't care for that. I link it to origin. Origin means in graphics or in mathematics, you may say this is XOX and this is YOY, means this is X-axis and this is Y-axis. There is an intersection at that point that is called O point, origin point, 0 point. If you go on X-axis on the right side, it's called positive. If you go on X-axis on the left side, it's called negative. If you go on Y in the ordinate side, it's called positive. When you go downward, it's called negative. That is only for representation. But where these two X and Y axes are made, that is called origin or zero. And this origin I'm talking, this origin is my head, which is called aura, above head, which covers the complete head. It covers complete head. So these are point that is called number 7. There's a feedback from nature we get on our mind, our head, number 6. So these are number 7. Now question is, where does number 8, number 9, number 5 lie, and number 0? These were explained previously also, but for refreshing purpose, I am again reminding and again directing you to that. Let us think that whole solar system is there in which we are living. This one solar system, prime solar system for we are living. There may be billions of solar systems there which can be calculated out and worked out themselves on different hypothesis. But I'm just referring to this solar system in which we are living because we are responsible for this, and this solar system is responsible for us, just like this acting as our parent, natural parent, God parent, representative to maintain our life, to make our life, let it continue. And I say, let us draw a circle or let us draw a sphere covering all 9 planets or whatever planet numbers are there in the solar system, and we contain in that. You imagine that diameter of this sphere could be about 2 million kilometers, because Jupiter itself is from here 76 crore kilometers and Sun 15 crore kilometers. Like this, we cover all spaces of the solar system. This diameter is about 2 billion kilometers from one point on circle to other point circle, or one point of sphere to other opposite point of sphere. And this diameter 2 billion kilometers is a big one. But that sphere or that circle encircling all this or encompassing all these planets, to me, to my understanding, is zero sphere or zero circle. I consider that zero. And because that zero sphere or zero circle is connected further to further extended system to God, and this is called system, which is connected to God, and God sending powers to us through this network to solar system, and this is also sending to us through solar system and directly to our body on earth. And whole this system is complete system, and this circle is called zero, and within that some power is moving. If something does here 9 number is within this zero or zero sphere or zero circle, 9 is contained in that in the motion form, whereas 0 is there, is 0 and 9 are covered there. And all this system which is coming into our body and outside our body and going up to God and all locations, wherever it is, that is system number 8. I call that number 8, because that is this network. And then remain number 8 is there, 9 is there, 0 is there, 7 I told you. What number is number 5? 5 is where the seat of God is there, 5. So we have discovered that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 number just like that. Now, how I explain to you and how you could understand, still I know you are confused why I'm telling all this. According to you, it may be empirical research. I'm representing empirical. This is not empirically. It's not empirical. It's not numerology. Frankly, I'm telling you, it's not numerology. It is not astronomy. It is not astrology. It is not palmistry. Nothing has to do with any defined religions, any claim religions or subjects in this science. They may call it science is because this is a system, and science means system. System means science. This, why I'm telling you, is something exclusively different. It is nothing to do with all what is being told on literature. It is a different understanding, a different philosophy, a different science, a different theory, and that is why I'm calling it unknown. And unknown means exponent. I'm trying to extract from my contemplation what this could be. It could be right, it could be wrong. It's just like in engineering studies, we assume everything when you start some derivation of theory. We say assume this is x, assume this is y, assume this is a, assume this is v. Let us assume this as this power, let us assume this. Then we come on from that assumption, imagination, step by step, we move further and reach some results, and that results are confirmed, the results are proved based on that assumption. And then this assumption is also confirmed. So that is the reason why how it works. So engineering physics can be do this way, physics can do that way, and everything is relative in this universe. Nothing is original. So this what I'm talking is a relative and further relative also. It's a relative square, you can say. I'm not claiming anything on that, but assumption, mind, understanding, deliberation, brainstorming must be there, even if it is fake, even if it is superfluous. We have to consider for understanding, for research, and if we get something out of that, it's good. What's I'm losing if I'm talking to you? What is going on from my? I am analyzing it in my brain by my brain, and analysis is a requirement of life. If you don't analyze, you don't find. If you understand your problem, if you analyze the problem, if you try to analyze and get some solution, that is solution of life, and that is system. So you say, oh, I have created this, I have did this. You make a design, you make a research, you may call it your innovation, whatever you call it. I don't care for them. I don't care something. A question, there will be some result, and that is where your destination is. There your totality is, and you can use that further. So this is what we are doing. If we are successful in this, then what's the problem we consider that way? When I can consider in physics, I can consider in chemistry, I can consider in economics, I can consider all subjects in my life. Why not I can consider here? I have full right to consider here. Irrespective of whether people may accept it, people reject it, you have full right to do something. But I have spent my time on this, so I have a right to understand this further and further and further. Okay, so I said I have gone through all these points. I discussed with this. I put many files on this video backend, and these files are very descriptive. This file will take a long time for you to understand, to interpret if you are interested. These numbers are basic numbers. I have told you these numbers are like this. We have been using this, and these numbers have many meanings. These are basic meanings which I explained to you, and these meanings are not final answer. There are many other files that we have to refer, we have to discuss, and these files I explained to you long before in my last one that what these files, and I will explain. I will continue explanation on that, and I'm just searching out where that file is. I have to take out number that explanation. I discussed with you about those numbers in last time, and these number explanation I have explained again to you, zero circle, etc. And then I discussed with you about various numbers, how these work, and up to all the 143 numbers. And I'll remind you why I'm calling 143, because there is a reason for that. And the reason is very simple, which you may remember what I explained to you about that. It's not very big complication, and that is where it's said. Yes. Why I am telling about this 143 or 3? I explained to you in last, just going back to that explanation for recalling and for resorting to further discussion. We consider, let us say, Gregorian calendar. There are many calendars in our country, in other countries. There are many days. For example, we have Sak calendar, we have Vikram calendar. In Bengal has many calendar culture, and we have in the Arab world Hijra and Muslim world. But in our lives, if you say, if you consider, Gregorian calendar is ruling us. Ruling means in our use. It is utmost use, giving us 365 days of a year and 30 or 31 days in a month, and 12 months. This rotation we are using in practical life. We are not using Hijra in the public like that. We are not doing Vikram. We are using Sak as national calendar, but that is only for formality purpose. We are not using in our national calendar in a way we should use. We are considering their national, this is our New Year day. We are using Vikram calendar for our marriage or for our religious purposes, but that is only for some fast or some this and fast, that nothing in reality. In reality, all over calendar of Gregorian is used, which is starts on 1st January and ends with 30th of December, and that century which starts at 1st January year 1 and goes to 1st January year 31st January, 31st December year 100. That calendar we have been following with, and since when we following, it not nothing to do with that. That is we following. That's all about. And this says that there are 365 days in a year and 12 months, January, February to December. We all know, no need to explain that. Start day of this century is, considered century is 1st January, year 1. If you add, see, digit of century you forget. Just remember 100 years in a century. I'm not talking of 1900, 2000, 800, 1700, because century applies to everybody, that is common. We don't need to consider that. What I'm saying is 1 January and year 1, let us say. So if you day plus month, day is 1, month is 1, and year is 1. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 is equal to 3. So number first date is 3. Calendar century date is first. Day is 3. 1 plus 1 plus 1. This is very simple. This is not mathematics to consider. If you go for the last day of century, you can think what day that day is. Last day of century. Explain. Is that not December 31, year 100? Right or wrong? Let us say last date of century is 31st December, year 100. 31st, 12, 100. If you add 31st, 12 and 100, is it not equal to 143? This means century starts with first day, that is 3 number, and it ends with another day, which is 143 number. This means there are days only between these. Day 3, day 143. All persons are born within this. All creatures are born within this. There can be no other number in this calendar other than these. Starting from 3 and going to 143. See, it's not starting from 1. He's starting from 3 because I am adding day plus multiple here for purpose of some calculations. But day is number 1. First day that is. But that's total is 3. That is last day. Its total is 143. This means there are 141 days in calculation purpose, for purpose of calculation. In reality, these are. So I consider this formula, and I consider this formula for purpose of understanding what is this calendar. And there are many methods to work out how to take, you can say, interpolations from these numbers. That will explanation later on, because that is very detailed study. But I'm just giving you references how I depended and I have derived my formulae, which I will explain to you. I will disclose. This is basic one, and there is another basic one. Means how could I apply this, and how could I, you can say, generated certain results based on these numbers and some other numbers. I explained to you before also. There is in this world, if you take one line, first let us take one point. Point just a representation, or decimal we write sometimes decimal or a point, and when write another point and we join 2 points, this becomes a line in geometry, in our engineering or in our other mathematical equation. Acceptable or not acceptable, this is a line. You can measure length of a line, it is also true, but other than this you cannot do anything. If you know a line length, you don't know its width, you don't know its depth, you cannot find any other result except that this length is so much long, and that length is also measured in forms of relative units which are available in our standard one, meter or feet or centimeter or millimeter or whatever unit you consider. You can measure length of that one. Other than that you cannot measure anything. If you take another line and at that line you connect another line, what shall be the result? Result shall be an angle. It can be obtuse angle, right angle, or acute angle, or whatever angle. Even then it shall be not useful, because it shall be useful only in consideration, in assumption that this is 2 lines are there and then making an angle of this so many degrees. It shall not give anything. You cannot measure that. You can measure length of line here and length of line here, and you are measuring by your d another angle. We used to d in last days, or you can say compass. You can measure angle. So you have 2 information available only: length of 2 lines, and between those 2 lines there is an angle. Whatever degree it is, obtuse, acute, or right angle is called angle, and you are using that. But it does not serve any purpose, because it has got no quantity except length quantity or angle quantity. You cannot use this information at all for any practical purpose. Let us go to add one more line to all these 2 lines. When you add another line is hypotenuse or else whatever it is, there are 3 points created on this surface, and this surface is named triangle because there are 3 angles. Triangle, angle means angle and tri means 3. These 3 angles are there and these 3 sides are there. We are using only by naming this figure in name of angles, 3 angles. So there are 3 sides also. There are 3 sides, there are 3 angles, and there are 3 corners. There are 3 parameters, 3 characteristic attributes. 3 corners, there will location of those corners, you take complete measurements in coordinates purpose. 3 coordinates must be there, 3 sides must be there, 3 lengths must be there, 3 angles must be there. Some must be 180 degrees if you consider the term of angles. If you take gradients, it's something different, maybe different units. I'm not talking, I'm just taking this 180 degrees means a triangle. But This is not trigonometry, or this is not algebra I am talking, this is not geometry I am talking. I am not going to consider area of this, I am not going to calculate area. I am talking spiritual science, or you can say solve. This triangle now tells that I am ready, you can measure me. This says I am unit, I am some figure in this world, on this earth. I can tell you how many square meter I am, or how many square inches I am. This triangle speaks. I have these parameters. If you want, you can measure me and use me. So we can know area of this triangle, we can know perimeter of this triangle, we can measure locations of these three corners or three mids, three ends, and that is what is required. If you know such properties of something, you can say, okay, triangle half base into height, you can say, or we can say s into s minus 1, s minus b, like that, as use the triangle formula when three sides are available. We can measure angle, we can measure its size, we can measure its area, and this certain figure which delivers some use to you. So this is a figure, and we have to start our calculations based on this figure. If I say I want to use this figure for my calculation, because this is initiative figure, this is maiden figure for me, I can create a formula based on this, which is very simple. There are three corners. We extend all this, extend in one direction, this, so that they don't clash with each other. So this means there are three sides and three extended sides. There are the three ends now. There are three intersection points. There are three sides, and there are three angles, and there are three external angles. Now, how to calculate that? Let us start with 1. We are not using 0 here, we are starting with 1. If we say clockwise, we take it 1, 2, 3, and the extended ends are over. Let us say this direction 1, 2, 3. Then we go to point of triangle corner 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then come back again 7, 8, and 9. If you nominate numbers like this on that, and then you see on each side there are 4 numbers available. These numbers are available, you sum of them. You will find as all these sides shall give you a result of 20. You can try yourself, there are diagrams available, but you try for your understanding. You are qualified people, you can analyze it and use your brain. Using brain is more important than referring to documents. You use a brain and you check that document what it says. Results should be 20 if your effect of number, if your rotation of number is right. This means 3 sides give you 20. If you do same thing, drawing 4 sides or using a rectangle or a square, you will find 26. If you take another one, 5 side figure, you will find 32. You go on taking all these added figures and go to any number, say 143 sides or 1000 sides or 5000 sides. If you are able to draw that figure and dominate numbers, you will find that each one result rises by 6. You can try arithmetical analysis. You will find that 3 gives you 20, 4 gives you 26, and another gives 32, and then 38, and then for 38, and then 6, add 6 to that one and go like this. For example, 10 side figure is 10, 60 plus 2, like that 62. It is giving this way, means 3 gives you 20, means keep adding 6, 26, 32, then it is difference of 6, 38, then add 6, add 6, add 6, add 6, and go on like that. If say there is a 1000, it's going to 6002, which will give you. This is formula, very simple formula, and I named this as a result of that number. And this formula actually was available somewhere of this triangle formula in some calendar, which has no meaning to be explained now. These codes were available there. I just studied a lot on that code and tried to understand. This was maybe in some time, many thousands years back, done by some rishi or some muni in their own codifications. This was a code given somewhere, and tried to did a lot of research on that and reached this conclusion that this is geometrical formula giving this result. So I picked up that. I studied that, did a lot of research on that, and then decodified that one, and reach this you can say design of formula, which I am saying data. This one triangle decoded into many figures, and complete sequence of numbers resulted. That is called achievement. It's not that achievement I'm talking, but means achievement that can be used mathematically somewhere, and I could use it successfully. This is available on my files. You can read that. I put there 3 side, 4 side, 5 sides, 6 side I am sure, and also 12 side. So all I cannot take up in this, just for reference purposes I put there. But there's a table, there's an Excel developed sheet I tried all. There is a sheet, a file available, number data file, and many other files are available. You can read them. You can understand how this has been converted to applications, software application in software on Excel file, which was very difficult, time consuming, but I worked on that. Similarly, there are many other files available. Sequence files are there. Supporting number files. What is supporting number? I'll just explain to what is support because we are going further to explanation. There are three basic numbers in life. First, I told you 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. These are counting numbers. Counting. These numbers are supported by some basic numbers. And what are those basic numbers? I consider basic number is 8, basic number is 5, and basic number is 2. 8 is given to system, 5 is given to control, and 2 is given to material. Because there are three gods everywhere. There are three devis everywhere you consider. One is called Lakshmi, one is called, I'm just going to for reference only, this is nothing to do with dharma. I'm not expert. I'm just giving you reference because these ones give you, one gives you wealth, one gives you education, and the one gives you something else. These three values are there. People are interested only in wealth. Lakshmi, people worship Lakshmi. Very few people worship Saraswati, and very few people worship those that Devi which destructs everything. These are three, means something comes in, if something you get, you have to maintain that, and once its use is over, you have to destruct that. This is natural cycle. Whatever has come has to go. Destruction is also significant. When you are happy, when you receive, you should also be happy when you destruct it. You should also be happy when you maintain it. These three things are there. So what I am saying, 8, 5 to support every number in depending upon what it relates to. 8 is a system number, 2 is material number, 5 is control number or magic number or unseen number or unknown number. Various parameters and various values are related to that. Every number has to support. Now, I am saying this. Let us say 0 number we start with. What result 0 gives? 0, according to formula I am talking now. I have told you 3 sides give 20. And 4 sides give 26 and other one is 32. If you generate all that, you will find if you multiply any number by 6 and add value to that, that is the result of that number. Similarly, all numbers comes in the same fashion. So if you multiply 2 by 0 and add 2, what is the result? Result is 2. This means 0 is supported by 2 or 2 is supported by 0 is supported by 2. Will you believe it? 0 is 0. That is in multiplication, in counting, in mathematics. But here, what I am saying, if you use 0 in your life, in some combination, its substitution comes as 2. Let us say 1. Multiplied 1 by 6, it is 6. Add 2, it is 8. 6 plus 2 is 8. 1 is substituted by 8. Can you understand that? It is replacement of numbers into working numbers. 0 to 9 are replaced by basic numbers, replacement numbers 8, 5 and 2. For example, 0 goes to 2, 1 goes to 8, 1 into 6 plus 2 is 8. Let us say 3. 3 into 6 plus 2 how much? 20. This means 3 goes to 20 means 2 plus 0 is 2. So 3 goes to 2. So 1 goes to 0 goes to 2, 1 goes to 8, 3 goes to 2. Again you take 4. 4 into 6 plus 2, what is the result? 26. And 2 plus 6 is how much? 8. So 4 goes to 8. If you take 5, 5 into 6 plus 2 is 32. 32 is equal to 3 plus 2 is first 5. So 5 goes to 5. If you further take 5, it again goes to 5. Take 6. What it works? 6 into 6 plus 2. What is the result? 36 plus 38. And what is 3 plus 8? 11. 11 is 2. So what result is? 6 goes to 2. Let us take 7. 7 into 6 plus 2 how much? 44. And what is 44? 4 plus 8 is 4. 8. So 7 goes to 8. Let us say 8. 8 into 6 plus 2 was 8 is 48. 50. So 8 goes to 5. Let us say 9. 9 is 54 plus 2. 9 into 6, 54 plus 2, 56, and 5 plus 6, 11, 11 is 2. So 9 goes to 2. So 0 to 2, 1 to 8, 2 to 5, 3 to 2, 4 to 8, 5 to 5, 6 to 2, 7 to 8, 8 to 5, and 9 to 2. This means all those numbers are going either to 8 or to 5 or to 2. These numbers can be replaced either by one of these three numbers. 0 is replaced by 2, 1 is replaced by 8, 2 is replaced by 5, 3 is replaced by 2, and 4 is replaced by 8, and 5 is replaced by 5, and 6 is replaced by 2, and 7 is replaced by 8, and 8 is replaced by 5, and 9 is replaced by 2. This is sequence. It's 852, 852, 852 is repetition. If you start with 0, it's a 2. If you start with 1, start with 0, 2, and 1 is 8, and 2. Yes, if you write any number in any sequence, you will find them 852, 852, 852, 852, 852. This means 852 are coming again and again. This means basic numbers are only coming again, not working numbers. Working numbers is finished. 852 is here. So you have to value your 8 and 5 and 2. How many 8 and 5 do you have in your life if you compare your something? For example, there is number 25. You can say 2 goes to where? 5, and 5 goes to 2. It's like that. If there is number 65, let us say, 6 is replaced by 2 and 5 is by 5, so it is 25 support. This is replacement, and this is very important in our application when we consider further. I'm just explaining you how I drive this number. Now I'm saying this, I'm driving my properties according to body. I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 is in body, 2 is in body, 3 is in body, 4 in body, and we know according to body function these properties and these attributes, and we allotted numbers to that. The 1 is number this, 2 is number this, 3 is number this, 4 is number this. I said because here 6 number is a mind number, and I explained to that. And 7 is connection, find a connection to or short circuit to or it is, that is number 7. 8 number I told you whole system is there, and 9 number is in 0. But question is number 5. You take any number 5 and you multiply this, add to any number. You can say, let us say number 5, number 2 number, let us say 2 into 0, 2 into 6 plus 2, how much is this? 2 into 6 is 12 plus 2, 14. What is 14? 1 plus 4, 1, 4 and 5. Or even if you take 14 and go multiply by 6 and add 2, again you make single digits and go somewhere else. How many times you will take any number to any multiplication of 6 add 2 and then come to 0 as single digit, you shall find result 5. Only in 5, every number from 0 to 9 or from 1000, 1 lakh to crores, you multiply by 6 and add 2 and then reach single digit, you shall not find any other result except number 5. 100 sequences you take, 10 sequences you take, 5 sequences you take any number of sequences, multiply by 6 and play at 2 and you reach single digit number, you cannot find more than 5 or less than 5. That is what I'm calling is number 5 is ultimate control. It is a control. It is unknown. It is, you cannot cross this number. You have no power because it will stop you at 5. Every number stops there. Whatever number could be there, number 5 stops that. It's unknown. It's unseen. It is secret. It's God's power. If you are 5, you will manage it. But a 5 number is not that easy. It does not suit everybody because this is ruler, secret. This doesn't tell what it is. You cannot plan this. You cannot understand this until you understand yourself, until you understand Saul, until you understand God. There are so many combinations in these numbers, and this number also is a basic number. 8 is basic, 5 is basic, and 2 is basic. And these 3 are very important numbers. I just told you, I just explained to you how I consider them. Now let us say there are so many other numbers also. For example, we say there is one number and just go the next step of that number and then next step of that number, which I am calling direct series. Do you understand what I'm saying? There is a file available of direct series. You can read that, but basic I'm just telling. I'm just informing you what is that. Let us say there is number 1. I say you take a step 1 from 1. Can you take? You say this is 1. I have to go further step 1 to 1. What is 1 to 1 then? You cannot say it is 2. No, that's not 2. If you go on to 1, it's 1 only. But if you say from 3, because it applies to only uneven numbers, odd numbers you can say. Even numbers are those, just for information, if you are not clear about that, even numbers are those which are not odd and which are in coupling. You say 2, 4, 6, 8, which can be divided by 2. or which can be divisible. There's no remainder available. But 3 is not divided by 2, 5 is not divided by 2. It is divided, but there remains a remainder. There is a remainder answer. Remainder should not be there. So let us say start from 3. If I say from 3, go to 3 steps, and mathematically you can say third from 3. 3 itself is there. 3, 4, 5. 3 steps are over. 3, 4, 5. So third from 3 is what? It's 5. Then fifth from fifth is what? You check yourself. Fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Fifth from fifth. This will drag of 5. If you say what is 9? 9 is drag of 5. If what is 5? 5 is drag of 3. Same way you can say 7. You can apply to 9. You can apply to 11. For example, we say 11. From where it starts? If you reach 11, if you go back, you will find 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 6 from 6 is 11. 11 is drag of 6. Chhatte mein chhata in Hindi we call it. 6th from 6th. In Hindi sometimes we use the odd language. Chhatte mein chhata hai. Chhatte se chhata. Selected from selected one. This means that actually people don't understand, because chhatte mein chhata is selected from selected one, or you can say best selection. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Similarly, all other numbers can be dragged like that. So we stand here, then we must go there if you want to use the application. That is called drag series. It is completely detailed out in one file of drag series. You can go through that. Now, there are replacement numbers, I told you 852, and there are direct numbers. I also provide certain series in this, which say if you place number 3 times and divide it by 3, in both ways, in drag series and replacement series. For example, drag series is 1, 1, 1. One number is placed 3 times. 2 number is placed 2, 2, 2. 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5. 3 times you repeat that number and divide by 3, you will get some answer. Everywhere you get some answer, there is a file available there also. Direct series I call that. And that will be result of number of your work. When you do very hard work, you don't leave no stone unturned, that reflection will come there. And if you also replace these numbers and then place 3 times, for example, you are writing 111 and you replace it 888. 1 is written 3 times and replaced by 888. Similarly, 2 is written 3 times, replaced by 555. 5 is written 3 times and replaced 555. These replacement can be also be divided by number 3, and you will get some results and interpretations accordingly. So these files are also available there. Drag series is there, replacement series is there, and interpretations of numbers is there. So many replacement, all files are there in heavily loaded documentations, and which you of course shall consume your time and your interest. If you are interested, you got something to understand. It's nothing, I'm not talking something empirical that I assume this and you assume. No, I'm not assuming anything. Nothing I am assuming, believe me. This is the complete scientific understanding, logical understanding. I am not saying I'm an astrologer and you give this is in 10,000, this is 9,000, this is palm, this. You assume this line is head line and this line is conscious line and this line is marriage line and this line. No, I'm not assuming anything. I'm not a palmist, I'm not an astrologer, I'm not a pandit, I'm nothing. I'm just a student of science, I'm just a student of engineering, and accordingly I'm analyzing. If you can analyze, you see yourself. This is numbers are known. We have to accept numbers. We cannot say numbers are there. And I'm passing through certain relative powers in my mind, in our body, and that body, how it functions. We are linking to those these numbers, so that you can say that those links in my body is of a root, and my numbers. That is not basic. Link is a reference. It is an understanding, assumption. You can say, I assume one number lies there. That is an assumption, but that property exists. Okay, if I don't allow number 1 there, but that power exists there. Genital exists. Entry of Atma is there. Entry of power soul is there. So there is in fact no logic not to understand or not to accept this. Not even a single formula created here which depends on empiricalism or in belief or in faith. I don't believe in faith. I believe in science. I believe in system, because system and science are related. System is God created, and God created something based on mathematics, based on contemplation, not theoretical contemplation. Theoretical contemplation, understanding, logic, and all basis. God cannot do work without having any logic, because God is God. We have to accept what He has done. When He created this body as a permanent equipment for many decades to work without any failure, You can say this is only formula. This only is something, some calculations very in comparison to design of this body or design of these planets or design of this universe. This is nothing. This is very tiny, tiny particle in a quantity of water in ocean. It's nothing. So, but we are analyzing, we are thinking, we are contemplating, and this is then our duty to understand how to explain, how to receive explanation. I am just trying my best to explain to you what I thought, what I dreamed, you can say. Sometimes dreams also tell you this is what I have experienced in my life. I have been observing dreams for many, you can say, many years, and have reached some conclusion that God's work is very complicated. And believe me, it is. God doesn't tell anything directly. He tells you through scenes, through confusing you, abusing your mind, abusing your thought, abusing the soul. And if you can understand, that's all. That's fine. Because God is not your servant, God is your master. He tries us every time. God has a duty to try us because we are its production. Because based on your trial, because of our success and your achievements, that power shall give you some other work. It's like that. If I get my employee, I give him some job, or I am given some job, that employee treats me, tests me. Same thing. I am an employee, I am a labor, I am a worker for God, and that God has complete right, a full absolute right to test me and then place me somewhere else. It is a continuous placement, chain of placement, many placements I have seen in my life, with thousands of placements in my past lives, and thousands of placements could be in future life, who knows. This is one of placement which I am talking to you. I am working here in this world, in this body, and there could be many more in future. Who knows? Nobody knows in future what shall happen after leaving this body. So I'm just saying, you can say, posted some charts. Those are based on Saturn-based formula, which is not mine actually. I just work for you. That is Saturn formula, graphics or numbers used by Saturn formula, and just I transformed that to computer and placed here for your reference. Nothing to do with this number data. There shall be many interpretations I'll make. This series I have given, I explained to you. Now I'll discuss further on the file which I was talking to you before, and that was that file which was given a break due to break in this talk. And that file is I had explained to you about numbers, about I just blow up that and zoom out so that I can read it, otherwise it's difficult to read. Oh, sorry. Like a blown up out of proportion. Yes, I have named this subject as VRG because it's something unknown to common people, and I had explained, I reached to zero circle last time. I had explained about locations of these numbers and properties, and about these 143 numbers from 1 onward to 143. Their descriptions I explained up to, you can refer to that in last video because there is no meaning again to explain all this. 143 this time. I'm giving the file is available, you can see that. Now I am going to reach that effects of centuries, digits in general, which is here. Now I'm saying this table here in this file. The file name is number data explanation that is available on this list, and it says now I started with century 10. Let us say century 10, which is from 901 to 919 years, calendar years. This century 10 is already gone. I'm just referring to that, which means last millennium, not last millennium. This is 901. Let's say many centuries have gone, and maybe this is second millennium something. It's 901 to 999, and this effect I have written here, full of effects of digit 9. Because is 901 to 999 full of effects of digit 9 means this period should be full of power or struggle or fire or anger or resistance or rigidity or potential or synthesis or shakti or orthodoxism or hardship or hard work or worship, etc. These are attributes I have just written on this so that this period could have been like that. I don't know what happened in those days, in those 100 years. It is written that effect of nines are there, means power, struggle, fire, anger, resistance, rigidity, potential, synthesis, shakti, orthodoxism, hardships, hard work, worship, and when there is orthodoxism, there may be delays also, hardships also, rigidity also, means it's not easy to use this number. This number is struggling number, disturbing number, creating troubles, and you have to resist those. This is number 9, soldier's number, means obstructive numbers. It's like fire numbers. Fire always destroys. Power always makes problem for people. If you are in powerful attitude, if you have power, or if you enjoy power, you have to struggle also. It's not, power is never free. It means you have to struggle, you have to fight with problems. And if you go to next one, that is century 11, which is 1000 to 1099. Properties are, attributes are, means full of effects of digit 1. Effects of digit 1, which means should be full of exit or entry. This is what 1 is. Or right or authority. Exit or entry or right or authority or label or lead, full effects of 10, etc. Same thing is means that 100 years, 1000 to 1099 must have these types of attributes in those days. If you go further down to 12, century 12, which is 1100 to 1199 years in Gregorian calendar, this must be full of effects of 11, which means period should be affected by unlimited entry. When I say 11, see, now some confusion will be clear. When I say 10, it says, 10 means of 10. Of 10, if you see English word of 10, means full. 10, you can say 100% like that. So when I say 10, it is full effect, and when I say 11, it is unlimited effect, because it is 11 times 1, and it is like unlimited, means it has full limits. So it is called unlimited. Means this period should be affected by unlimited entry or exit or lead or authority or right or best selection, as I said for number 11, sixth, from sixth it is in drag series. So best selection for materials or word of relevance. And next is century 13, which is 1200 to 1299. Here work of 12 starts. It is full of effect of 12, means this period should be affected by exit or entry or right or authority or lead or superficial or clean or unreliable or variable based for making or material application, support or mental support or congratulation, etc. I have used these attributes which join 1 and 2, which interpret 1 and 2. Again I tell you what it is. Full effect of 12 means should be exit, entry, right, authority, lead, superficial, clean, unreliable, variable, based for making or breaking or material application, support or mental support or congratulation. Why I am telling this? Because 12 is there, means 1 plus 2, 3 is also there. When 12 works, means 1 plus 12 leads to 3 also, and property of 3 is also there. This is what is, you can say, a kind of consideration, a kind of application of these numbers is. So 12 means we say 1 and 2, when there is entry or authority and material, you tell every person, badhai ho, congratulations, like this, somebody gets something. So it is like congratulations, bara mubarak ho, we call sometimes mubarak in our language. That way it is. So when you use 11, start is 11 and the result is 2. Similarly, it is the start of 12 and result is 3. And if you go to next one, that is 14. Here effects of 1300 to 1399 work. 1300 to 1399. And you can say was same property as 13. Means effect of full effect. His full effect because 13. 13 means period should be affected by exit or entry or right or authority, because 1 is there, or lead or label, or making and breaking is 3 there, or material application, because support or mental support or for move or flow, because 1 plus 3 is 4, probably 4 comes in, move or flow, or solution or emotion or visible short travel, because number 1 is visual short travel, dynamism, you can say physical dynamism, not mental dynamism, or multi-directional move, because from 4 there are so many directions. Your mind, your heart, both are different. Heart says do this, do this, do this, but mind never says do this, do this. Mind says do this, one answer. Multi-directional move or temporary answers. This is effect of 13. 1, 3, which is attribute of 1, attribute of 3 plus and attribute of 4. Let us go to another one, which is 15th century. 15th century says year 1400 to year 1499. Here effect of 1 and 4 is there. Effect of 14 means should be affected by exit or entry or light, right or authority or lead or travel or level, or move or flow or solution or emotion or visible short travel or multidirectional move or temporary answers or magic or a secret or control or solid. Now control or solid is also coming. Magic is coming here. Why magic is coming here? When I was talking 1 and 4, it is coming here because 1 plus 4 is 5. So attribute of 5 start coming in when I say magic or secret or control or solid authority or ultimate authority or strong or art, science, in profession or religion. Means all those parameters, all those properties, all those attributes start pouring in when that point of consideration appears. Let us go to next century, 16, which is 1500 to 1599. What it states here, effect is 1, 5, and then 6. Effect of 15 means should be affected by exit. First we have to see what 1 says, then 5 says, and then 6 says. So 1 says exit, entry, right, authority, lead, label. Then it says 5 magic, secret, control, solid authority or ultimate authority or strong or art. And then it says 6. 6 means you can say the property of 6 applies there, mental process and work and selection of mind, analysis or romance or romantic desires, karma and thinking, all these effects of 6. So it works this way. If you go to the next one, there's 17. This is 1600 to 1699. Again, it will work as 1, 6 and then 7. Let us again see what it says. Just to understand means, it's just to make it easy for you to understand. I will describe all this because we can understand our subjects of sciences easily, but this is imaginary subject, so it takes a little elaborate. I have to elaborate further so that people can have some understanding without drawing any confusion into their mind. So 1 and 6, 16 means should be effect of 1 means exit, entry, right, authority, label, lead, etc. Work, then 6 means work or work process or mental application or selection or mind analysis or romance or romantic desires or karma or thinking and all effects of 6 for success. And then it goes 7, real light or truth of knowledge, interaction of fruit or first or best solution is it's again going to 7, transformation. 7 means aura. So let us go to next one. There's 18, this 1700 to 1799. I think you are not getting bored. You must. This subject is like that. It's not easy to grasp it fully, but I'm just trying to make you understand something out of lot of things. So 1700 means 17, which means again 1 and 7 and then 8. So properties of 1 were there, exit, entry, right, you can no need of repeating everything. Then properties of 7 would come in with fruit or afforded by solution, transformation or material facts, and then coming system, which is 8, and system, network, medium, communication, coordination, life point, death point, sound speed, like that, black or long travel, which are all properties of 8. So properties of 1, 7, which lead to property 8 are considered there. And if you see 1800 to 1899, which is century 19, it shall have effect of 1, 8 and 9. It's again, you can say 18 means the value of 1, which is attribute of 1, exit, entry, light, all that. And then it is 8, system, etc., which I explained to you. All those properties repeated. Then 9, all properties of 9 shall come in, which is Shakti, which is power, which is you can say green, or which is struggle, or which is fire, which is rigidity, which is potential, which is synthesis, and non-analytical, because 9 is non-analytical, while 6 is analytical, both are reverse. 9 number doesn't empower you to analyze something just to have seen knowledge, whereas 6 doesn't accept seen knowledge, it accepts analytical knowledge. And 9 is anger, while 6 is not anger. 6 is different kind of thought, and 9 is orthodoxism and worship, while 6 number doesn't accept that. Then go to 21, 1900 to 1999. Same 19 effect means effect of 1, effect of 9, and effect of 10. 9, 1 plus 9. All these effects are same way described here. So effect of 1, effect of 9 dominate in this century. And if you go to next one, which is 21, I'm just now running out because I have told you basic and it doesn't look nice to describe everything and repeat it or reiterate everything. So this is 21, and 21 here is 2000 to 2099. And 21 also, I'll tell you the specific meaning of 21 is 2 and 1. If you get something as 2 and something as 1, means you are getting material and you are getting authority on material, you are considered like an honor of that. This is 21. So 21 is 2000 to 2099, and which period is dominated by 20, and 2 means material, 20 means full material, and result is also 2. So this is material relative period 2000 to 2099. And it is also running now. You see, 1999 is gone. It is gone many years back. And now it is 2000 to 99. You see, this up to 2009, what shall happen? It will dominate, 20 shall dominate, and it's happening. Everybody is behind material. You can very just get confirm. Whole world is behind material. 1999 has gone. 1 and 9 have gone. 1 was represented by authority. Everybody wanted to have authority in those days. All countries, all societies, everything. Research and this and my authority, this your, my patent, this your patent. Like this, the type of business was there. 999 has gone. Now 2000 started, and 2099 means material domination era. It is a century full of materials. And that is very important. Material to fight, material of war, material of knowledge, material of understanding. Computer world, this is a material. Information world, this is material. And whatever knowledge you get, this is material. Even if you have to steal, you will steal. Whatever you do, but you want to move further in relation to wealth. Wealth means earth. Metal means earth. Earth means lithosphere, air. We are dealing with air, which is also bad. Plus minus both points are there. Similarly, we are dealing with earth. We are dealing with material sealed in earth, concealed in earth. We want to make use of those, and this 100 years of period is like that. This is happening. There's no meaning of further saying no. You cannot deny that. This is happening here. It shall further continue. And then the next century is 22, which is unlimited material. This is only material. This is 2100, 2199. That is having a property of 2 and 1, and then 3 means further development of that. 2 is there, 1 is there, this means 21. Ownership is there, 2 is material, and 1 is lead in that. Then 3 is making further, means here we are fighting only for material, there we will fight for making also. We are making. So let me repeat this one again. Full of effect of 21 means this period should be affected by material or made up, because made up means 21 is 3. Or thing, 3 is made up, this is triangle, it's a figure. So full of effect 21 means period should be affected by material or made up or thing or ideal or superficial or clean or valuable. Because number 2 is that ideal, superficial, clean, because material itself is superficial. It cannot work on its own. Material cannot do work on its own. It has to be worked upon. It is lying, it's clean, it's not lying, it's not clean. It's dependent upon it on itself. It cannot do anything on its own. So this is property of 2. Property of 1 is to lead it. And 3 is there, make up this, made up this. So you can say it's ideal or superficial, is 3, clean or variable, not constant, is also that, unreliable or information, etc. And all the property of 1 or light or right or authority or lead or label for making or breaking means again 2 plus 1 is 3, making or breaking, mental application support or mental support or formation. This is our property. Now we will go to 23, because I'm just trying to reach somewhere, and I'll discuss it up to 2009 and 99 if you have patience to get this. Because if you understand like this, you will get more input in your mind, more basic knowledge about this. It's not simply just consider and throw it or discard it. You have to analyze further. You have to enter into depth of knowledge. You have to immerse yourself into such only to grasp out of this. It is a system, or you can say it is a subject like other subjects. It's not simply just go through, read up for see pages, index, and all this. And okay, I've seen this book. There's nothing in that. You may discard it. No, I'm not saying don't discard it. It's up to you. It's personal. It is because all persons cannot understand everything. 100% people cannot understand each and every subject. Only few percentage of people understand, and this applies to this also. You cannot understand all, and I'm not saying you understand all. It depends on your interest, and interest has to build up. It's not simple. So let us say again that this is 23rd century, which is effect of 22 to 2000. 2200 to 2299. This is full of effect. I was reading now so that you may understand fast. No need of explaining everything. Wherever required, I'll explain. Full of effect of 22 means a period should be affected by unlimited material or made up or things or ideal or superficial or clean or variable or not constant or unreliable or information for flow or move, because 2 plus 2 is 4, where 2 property of 2 goes to 2 plus 2, that starts telling 4. Information for flow or move or solution or emotion or visible travel or multi-directional or temporary answer. So it goes same way. Then comes next one, which is 24 and 2399, where property of 2 and 3 means 2, property of 2 is attribute of 2 and attribute of 3 is attribute of 5. So effect of 23 means this period should be affected by material or made up or thing or idle or superficial or clean or variable or not constant or unreliable or information making or breaking or material application support or mental support or for magic or secret or control or solid authority or ultimate authority or strong or art or science or profession or religion or duty or real. The same repetition of attributes. It doesn't mean all attributes work at same time. You have to select ordinance depending upon situation and then can link into your decision that this is your meaning. Go to 2400 to 2499, which is 25, means effect of 2 and 4, and effect of 2 and 4 means 6 also there. So full of effect 24 means this period should be affected by material or made up or thing or idle or superficial or clean or variable or not constant or unreliable or information and move or flow or solution of emotion or motion or visible short travel or multi-directional move or temporary answers for work. These are up to 2 and 4. And if you take further, it says work process. For work is 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 means work. So answer for work process or mental application, which is 6, or selection, or 6 is selection also, or mind analysis, means 6 is mind analysis, or romance, which 6 is romance also, or romantic desire, which is 6 also, or karam, which is work also, or thinking, which is thinking, and all three effects of 6. So how it relates, we have to see step by step. Come to 26, which is 2500 to 2599. I'm getting stress in eyes. It here is full of effect of 25 means this period should be affected by material or made up, is 2 again I'm telling you, made up or thing or idle, because material is idle, or superficial, material is superficial, or clean or variable or not constant and unreliable, or information. Now let us go to 2 over 5 now. Superficial information and magic on secret or control or solid authority or ultimate authority or strong or art, science or profession or religion, and then come to all this for success. Now 2 plus 5 is success. It is saying success or real light, which is here on 7, means here on aura, or truth or knowledge of knowledge or knowledge interaction or fruit of effort or best solution or transformation or material facts or vision door of fruit. You say once you fix attributes, you can place them according to number requirement and you get answer. Then you go to 27 is 2600 to 2699, which means attribute of 2, attribute of 6, and attribute of 8 shall work here, which is again written the same way. You can just listen. Effect of 26 means this period should be affected by material or made up or thing or idle or superficial or clean or variable or not constant or unreliable of information and work or work process. Now 6 has come, work or process or mental application or selection of mind, analysis of romance or romantic desires or karam or thinking. And all these effects of again 6 and 2 had 8 has come for system or frame or network or medium or link or communication or coordination or depth of life, power or soul, point or soul of spirit, root or totality or black or long travel, because it is long travel. Black is also reliable or invisible or green. This is again to the 7, the 28th century, which is 2700 to 2719. So I'm just telling you how many centuries advance. Just think of that. It's already we are around 2019. It is what I'm telling you. Many centuries later on, I won't be here, you won't be here in this world, but we're just interpreting how it could be. Let's say full of account 27 means attribute of 2 and attribute of 7, which is attribute of 9. So attribute of 2 and then attribute of 7 and attribute of 9 means this period should be affected by material, which is 2, made up, which is 2, thing or idle, which is 2, superficial, clean or variable, which is 2, or not constant, which is 2, non-reliable, or information or success. 7, success or real light or truth or knowledge interaction or fruit or efforts or best solution or transformation or material facts or vision door or fruit. Then 7 plus 2 is 9, for power or Shakti or struggle or fire or rigidity or potential or synthesis of non-analytical and anger or orthodoxism or worship. Means 2 is there, 7 is there, and 9 is there. Go to 29, which is 2800 to 2899 is how many years, centuries back you can say. It is 2020, 2019 now. Means 800 first, you can say, about more than 800 years later. It's 28 to 8 means the period should be affected by material or made up or thing or ideal or superficial or clean or variable or not constant or unreliable or information and system or frame or network. 8 has come now. System or frame or network or medium or link or communication or coordination of or death or life point or sound or size, spiritual root. Then there is one coming in. Root or totality of black or long travel distance is all 8 and visible green for effect of 1. 1 is there last. At last effect is same exit, entry, lead, authority, which I have not written because I written effect of 1 which is repeatable. And then there's 2900 to 2999 and it starts 31st. This is 30th century. 30th century means say about 900 later on or 900 or say 1000 years later on. Its effect of 29, which is 2, 9 and 11, and 11 is again 2, so means period should be affected by material or made up or thing or ideal or superficial or clean or variable or not constant or unreliable or information or power or Shakti or struggle or fire or rigidity or potential or synthesis or non-analytical or anger, all these properties of 9 or orthodoxism or worship for unlimited effects of 1 or 6 from 6th and for effect of 2 means 2 9 is 11 and 11 is 6th from 6th and then it is 11 means 2. So this is such a compound sequence in this. So this I just you can say tried to explain up to 2999. After that I did not include because it was that time, and yes, we can include up to any century or any millennials, but in that now two digit has gone. 2999 has gone now and it's only next starts is to 3000. So that is means millennial was changed in that case. So this was only remaining period in this millennium. If you understand now the third millennium has come, it impact of 3 shall remain everywhere. So in this discussion, a general behavior of century has been hinted and specific interpretation has to be taken into consideration for every subject year. First digit if century and second digit for sum of digits formula used. So this is regarding you can say century explanation, which is very important from expression and understanding point of view, but we cannot stop at here and we have to continue further discussions also on other issues. This is very important because we have to understand first. It's around 5:30 in morning and more than 31 degrees temperature in Faridabad. I think it's hot and 41 in daytime. So we have to keep water intake for days close. Now I start to year, how year says. Let us say year 1990, though it's not able in this one, but let us understand it. Digit is 90, forget about 19, I am saying 90. It indicates that full power or struggle because 9 into 0, when it is 0, I use full or often you can say, when it's 10, we say often, often. Often is English word, but it means when you write often means it's full. Indicates full power or struggle or fire because it's 9. Full power or struggle, fire or synthesis or rigidity. This indication of year 1990. Let us go to 91. Indicates power or struggle or fire or synthesis or rigidity, same as we use, or entry or exit. Then 1. Attribute of 9, attribute of 1, entry, exit, right, lead, authority, etc. 4, 9 plus 1, 10. 4, 10. Again 10 is 1. 10 is full entry or exit or right or lead or authority. Means this year 91 must have been like that. I was there in 91 Though I was not having knowledge about this subject in 91 and 90, I started thinking in 92 itself. So at that time, but if you see records, you will find same effect. 90 or 99 means power dominated in all these years. If you see 92, again attribute of 9 and 2 will be there, indicates power or struggle or fire or synthesis or rigidity or material or things or worldly or made up or clean or idle or constant, less than, etc. for 11. This attribute of 9 attribute combined and is 11 9 plus 2 and unlimited entry, it says an unlimited exit or right or lead or authority, etc. for number 2, which is 1 plus 1, and then comes like that. Worldly, material, thing, all that. Then if you go to 93, it again applies 9 and 3, and 9 and 3 is 12, and 12 is 1 and 2, and then it is 3. So a sequence of that is there. You can read yourself and see whether it was like this, or you can ask what period this was. Similarly, 94, it is 9 and 4, attribute of 9 combined with attribute of 4, and then 13 is at 1 and 3, and then 4. It is sequence that way. Similarly, sequence of 95, it is 9 and 5 and 14, and it's 5 again. And the sequence of 96, which is 9 and 6, is power and property of 6. In this, for example, it says 96 says indicates power or struggle or fire or synthesis or rigidity, and then 6 work process or thinking, and then 15 and 96, 15 entry or exit or right or lead or authority, and magic control strong, etc. Work process or thinking. Similarly, year 97 is dominated by 9 and 7, same property starting with 9 and followed with 7, and then 9 plus 16 is 1 and 6, and then 7, it's given that way. And again 98, properties of 9, properties of 8, attributes of 9, attributes of 8, then 17, and 1 and 7, it goes same way. You can just go through and see. Then 99, 99 is 11 times 9, which is unlimited 9, then probability of 9, and if you add 9 plus 10, again it is 18, and again it is 9. So 99 is going to 18, dependency on 8, and the other 9. So it indicates unlimited power, struggle, fire, synthesis, rigidity. For 18, entry or exit or right or lead or authority, etc., and system, totality, coordination, etc. Again for 9, power or struggle or fire. So this 99, you can see what year it was. You can understand very well. 99, BJP time, Vajpayee Saab time, and what happened, I think so many things happened in those days. Then go to 100 year, though it is not written 100 on papers, but it is 100 year. They started millennium in 99, which was an error. It should have been started actually on this year. But anyway, this is what they think, all think differently. So now 100 year, though it is not written 100, but effect is of 100. Indicates massive full entry or exit or right or lead or authority, etc. with value of 2. Effect for material or thing or worldly. If you go to 101, same effect happens here. So my purpose of explaining to you is that already you can see what happened in those days, and because these have gone. So you can interpret time which is coming in also if you believe that it was right. If you consider that this interpretation is right, by your own analysis, you can say that those periods also correct, must be correct. Now let us say, to know effects pertaining to years, please browse the following linked Excel files. Well, you can check yourself. Now I go to some other interpretation. This I have written here for your information. Effects of year digits have been shown extended depending on summation of digits, dragging effect, and relevant summations. One has to store interpretations of each year accordingly on same principle as has been carried out for 143 numbers, and final interpretation concluded for most reliable forecast in a mathematical style, decade effects on individual years. So this is decade years. Let us say how it works. Effect interpolations. Decade means, for example, year 1 to 9, then year 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, 50 to 59, 60 to 69, 70 to 79, 80 to 89, 90 to 99. This in single lines I have written here. I have written here 1 to 9 is every digit shall be affected by relevant digits. 1 and 9 in 1. 10 to 19, every year shall be ruled by effect of digit 10, that is 1. 10 is equal to 1 plus 0 is 1, and effect of relevant digit 1 to 9. Similarly, 20 to 29 decade, every year shall be ruled by effect of digit 20, which is 2 plus 0, 2, and effect of relevant digit 1 to 9. Similarly, 30 to 39, I have written that every year shall be ruled by effect of digit 30, that is 3 plus 0 is equal to 3, and effect of digit 1 to 9. So this is just an indicative direction I have given. I have not given explanation of that because you can understand very well what it was. The number interpretation 1 to 9. Now, before what I have written before moving ahead for the derivation of formula to accede to a detailed understanding and listed are interpolations in respect of all numbers or sequences falling below 1 to 99, 999, which shall generally be issued, be used in all matters later. Now, if there is a file, the old file as well as the new file, I just today morning added that file on script.com. This is regarding numbers, represent interpolations, number data interpolations from 0 to 999, and that is explained on that file, which you can open and see and understand those. And because that shall be repeated everywhere, wherever you interpret something. So you have to do something on that first. Nothing means nothing. You have to do nothing on file, but to read that. And in that, many columns are there, and many other information is available, which you can go through that and understand. So this you have to read means I cannot tell you word by word, because if I tell you something right, I have to read from this file only. I cannot remember everything. If you can read also, no problem. Now I have written derivation. I have already told you what is derivation about this. I have written about derivation, which is all these numbers 6 and 2, etc. And let us say what is it. Now let us go to very important part of this exponential work by getting into following about derivation, explanation. I think you know what's exponential work. In mathematics we use e to power something like that, or to base to 10 we write something, base to e we see. Is exponential work means something we call exponential, which has no basis before that, which has not proven. This exponential work doesn't need research work. This is not research work. This is about research work. This is not even innovation, but it is something which was hidden before, which are concealed in nature. If that comes out, that is exponential. This has nothing to do with existing subjects when there's no reference available to draw some knowledge from that. I did not use any reference. I did not use any other book or any research work so that I can bring it to this form. And that is sometimes called exponential. Of which I'm exposing, something is being exposed to world, that is exponent. So this is in that form. Now starting effective number of this physical world is 1. This is a derivation I'm telling you. Starting effective number of this physical world is 1, which I explained to you, which gives only a length value. I explained to you, if drawn in forms no recognition or measurable figure is written here also. Second effective number is of this physical world is 2, which gives only an angle value, and if drawn two lines meeting at some, which I explained to you. It also forms no figure. Number 3 provides an effective measurement, effective measurable figure when 3 lines are drawn meeting at 3 points, each point 2 lines and figure called triangle. So I already explained to you. So this is the triangular explanation actually. This was done long back, and I think it was done long back in 97 or 98. And our same formula is here, 3 into 6 plus 2, which is 18 plus 2 and 20. And again 4 sides is given and 5 sides. And these charts I have given, or these diagrams I have already placed on this system, on this script, and you can go through that as some, and that's no other problem. So these are equations of formula, any number multiplied by 6 and 2 is added. That is the equation, and that is called reflection here. I have named it reflection. Suppose whatever your number is, if you multiply by 6 and add 2, it is some result, and that is called reflection or result, and whatever you can say. Results pertaining to these numbers have been given in following URL. Okay, that is number data Excel that is given somewhere. No, you can find yourself, means why to go through all those data when you can just calculate multiplying by 6 and adding 2, which is very simple calculation. It's not very higher mathematics, it's just mensuration type mathematics. And it's even above schedule provides results falling within date of birth of persons born in a century, irrespective of century. Yes, I am not using century number in my calculations. I am using only year number, because century is same for all. Yes, if I take 1000 years in my calculation, then I have to use century. But I am not using a millennium. I am using only century, because In century itself, there are 37,200 cases. If you think millennium homology, you cannot study all these cases in this century group. In this century group, I am working out. I worked out. If you see, if you total number of days in a century and total number, I am reaching 37,200 interpretations in this one. Number 3 to 143 interpretations. It's not small quantity, 37,200. Imagine if you take whole millennium, how much? So I am controlling myself only, I am confining only to year of birth, not century of birth. So date, month and year, I am using these three records from. It's not for human being only. It's for any item, any dead thing also. If this building is constructed on this day, or this activity happened on this day, or that also means how this day can work for you in your coming times. How it can happen, provided you work. This is not luck again. I'm not talking of luck. I am talking of your efforts. If your soul gives you energy to work, you have to work. And that work can take you in this direction. This is what I'm indicating. It's not guaranteed. There are signs, plus signs and minus signs. Both signs, particularly for certain numbers, are there, which must be taken care of. If you sleep, you will weep. My answer is that. If you sleep, God will not help. You will not get luck. You will sleep until you have luck from inheritance. If your father was a crorepati, arabpati, that is a different issue. But for your achievements, because your father money is not your achievement, your father's record is not your achievements, that is a gift, you can say. It's a gift, and gift it is never achievement, but your achievement is your work. If you work, this formula helps you. If you don't work, sleep, no problem. I have no problem. You will lose your time. Time is time. Time is money. If you use time, you get results. If you don't use time, time is moving. It's not care. It doesn't value you. You work, you don't work, you sleep, you eat, you generate kids, you do marriage, you play, you go to clubs, you enjoy your life. Whatever you do, you are losing your investment of time. Time is number one invested in life. Period life is very short. It is just 60, 70, 80 years. In that 8 hours a day you sleep, and 20 years, 15 years you study, and then 20 years you enjoy your family life, and then you enjoy society. The what time is left for work, my dear? You have left only for 10 to 20% time hardly, and that cannot replace the period of 80 years or 60 years or 50 years or 30 years or 40 years. You are short of time. You have lost your investment. You will not get your dividend. You will not get your share rise. This is what life is. Life is money. Time is money, and money doesn't mean currency. It means your internal soul, which will be updated, which you have values of values. Means your CV improves only when you study, when you work, when you learn. You improve your CV. Similarly, we are living in this world, which we have to take CV with us. We are not to take body with us. We are not to take money with us. We have to take CV with us. That CV shall is already there. He knows what you are doing, so you will be granted relief only by that, not otherwise. So I said, century and year are important for you, for your directions, what you should do, what you should not do. Negative sign or approach to any number can be applied, visualizing that person got a tendency of resting or retardation, or otherwise if some of jailful, you can say, counterpart or enemies try to negate or nullify by their efforts, applications making all works person carried out go waste without any affirmative results, or also when person got an approach to use negative thinking, etc., negative application shall form similar results as if equation or reflective chart is formed, multiplying negative sign number by 6 and add 2 to get the result, which will be negative. Results shall be value 4 lesser than equation of 6 number plus 2 with negative signs. Charts or schedules can be formed exactly same way as positive values, charts or table formed. If formed, this chart may indicate what type of negative effect a number can impart at any operation or phase, or to take care of protection. These charts have not been included in this volume, but may be included if so demanded. So what it says, when I say don't work, sleep, you will get negative results. If you work day and night or to an extent to your capacity, your building capacity, you are built already, you will get positive results. This is what I say. I am not saying you will get 1 crore rupees or 1 billion rupees by lottery. You will not get any lottery from this subject. You will get a strength of mind. You will get a strength of soul. You will get many parameters, many attributes to you if you want to use them. This is support mechanism. This is not money mechanism. This is not astrology mechanism. This is not palmistry mechanism. This is not numerology mechanism. This is your own mechanism in which you have to operate yourself. You are equipment, you are machine, you are operator, you are driver, you are fuel, you are everything. No one else but God, because God stays within you when you use this, when you work. So positive number multiplied by 6 plus 2 is value, and negative number multiplied 2 plus 2 is positive value minus 4. You understand what I mean? If your number is negative, the formula is same. Mathematics says positive number by 6 multiplied by 6 plus 2 is one value, but if you use minus sign to that one and multiply it by 6 and then add 2, value will reduce by 4, positive value minus 4. So you will lose 4 numbers. You just think what you will lose yourself. Chart formation methods holds good for both cases with exception to add minus sign to number. Now replacement number. I already told you replacement 8, 5 and 2 here is written as well. Replacement of numbers means to get a support of single digit number for interpolation or for interpreting supporting basic numbers. Please observe reflective schedule carefully and sum up every result number to a single digit for a standard repetition of 852 very basic supports or conversions. Again I repeat, as I said before, 0 goes to 2, 1 goes to 8, 2 goes to 5, 0 goes to 2, 3 goes to 2. 0 goes to 2, 1 goes to 8, 2 goes to 5, 3 goes to 2, 4 goes to 8, 5 goes to 5, 6 goes to 2, 7 goes to 8, 8 goes to 5, 9 goes to 2, and so on and so forth. Once again, 0 is supported by 2, 1 is supported by 8, 2 is supported by 5, 3 is supported by 2, 4 is supported by 8, 5 is supported by 5, 6 is supported by 2, 7 is supported by 8, 8 is supported by 5, 9 is supported by 2, and so on and so forth. These supporting numbers, replacement numbers, have been given on sheet of following URL. Yes, there is a number data file which is basic prime file and which shall be used in all talks later on, which is very important. You can say perfect file, it's a program file, and formula file. I use this in by extension of those charts, by extension of those diagrams, and this will be used here in further talks. And these numbers are there. These numbers 852 are very basic replacement numbers. This is to find natural effects of all numbers, as 8 indicates system and 5 indicates magic, or 2 indicates material, and probably these 3 digits make existence. Series is reproduced as 8, 5 and 2, and if one computes sequences of obviously is repetition of numbers shall form as is evident on above URL file, which is nothing else but 8, 5 and 2, as I explained to you earlier. That is all replacement series. And I told you what about 5 is. Here it is written that schedule explicitly reveals that unchangeable or final replacement is 5 for all digits, which is an obvious reflection of fact that number 5 is an ultimate support for success of person's efforts. Should a person apply all required efforts during job performance from starting till job end, it is very certain and definite that effect of 5 shall arrive at end of day or work, and result must go to person's efforts. Determination of person to carry out job, whole applied and lifestyle of person shall change. Success shall be limited, unlimited, and massive in consonance or in accordance with number value being 5, 55, 555. Substitute. For example, say it could be 5, it could be 55, it could be 555 respectively, depending upon it is limited success, it is unlimited success, or it is massive success. Limited 5 is limited single digits, 55 is unlimited, and 555 is massive. By derivation of these sequences, I arrived to a conclusion that number 852 are ruling numbers, and magnitude or quantum of these shall indicate degree of ruling endowed on person by nature or God. This matter also we shall take up later, but I have already posted a file, uploaded a file by name ruling gradient on script, and that has been given URL written on this text. You can go through that, how ruling gradient is calculated. So direct series I have already put there. Direct series is based on luck of a person by using number thrice, by substituting and dividing by 3 to reach an answer for interpolation, namely 1 goes to 111 and then goes to 888 and then divide by 3. Substitute digits, place thrice and divide by 3 to get results to interpolation. So there are files of both direct and substitution one. You can go through that to know more about this. Since this series is based on division by 3 of basic substituted numbers, placed thrice arithmetically, results shall be interpolations of supporting or basic effects that person derives during conclusively working. But meaning should be intelligently construed depending on situation, question to question, various combinations worked out applied. Also, series developed by direct placing thrice number digits and dividing by 3 to reach an answer for interpolation in respect of results for efforts. Many interpolations can be derived from same number depending on probable use of basic effects of number given earlier. Best possible style should be included in interpolation depending upon situation or question. All these series should be used as secondary or corroborating tool to reach various categories of interpretations for select topics or questions, answers, or instantaneous answers. Schedule of supercalsum series. There is a file which says direct number and supercalsum number, and that explanation is also there. And URL is available. You can check all those, and number data formula also there. You can check those. Efforts and work oriented numbers, schedule charts of person's number. Yes, I'll just read it for you because already I told you. It is same because it is there in file and I cannot remember everything. 141 charts or reflection schedules have been included in book. Now book is not available, this is book. But herein only a few. Total charts are number 3 to number 143, detailing matrix of digits in what way these shall form position to reach sum of every individual row to result of equation number into 6 plus 2. It is certain that summation of every row shall give equated answer according to foregoing equation. These charts have been based on equation of relevant digits numbers and must satisfy flow in case of geometrically figured based on forming or figuring unit triangle theory discussed in earlier pages of this work, which do not require drawing all numbers or diagrams or polygons, as result is obtained directly by equation for all numbers. Charts of 1 and 2 cannot be drawn or formed, but equivalent charts of 10 and 11 shall be used for while interpreting 1 and 2 respectively. But charts of 1 and 2 can also be drawn or tabulated if one does not find row summation value to equated answer. Charts of schedule is erroneous and be rechecked. Titles on columns are as follows. This is I am talking about number data file in which various titles are given and details are C1, C2, C3, C4, CRT, CRCT, CO2 plus C3. The interpretations C1 is there, for example. Call sum is there. So C1, C2, C3, C4, CRT, CRCT, C1, then C2 plus C3 will super and call sum representations. First column, serial number is 1 of chart. Second column, this is CR. Continuation of serial number of chart, that is serial number 1. Second column is continuation of sequence upwards. Third column is formula adjustment. Fourth column is formula adjustment. Fifth column is CRC, which is column row total at relevant sequences. Sixth column is CRCT, which is column row cumulative total at relevant sequence. Seventh column is C2 plus C3 plus C4 respectively. Column C1 to C2 are C4 are two reflections of triangle theory based formation of numbers as discussed earlier. CRT provides the sum of C1 plus C2 plus C3 plus C4. CRCT provides cumulative sum of CRT at sequences. So these are titles in that number data chart. You can call it chart, you can call it sheet, you can call it matrix or whatever you can call it, but these are certain titles used for certain purpose. So formula are there and many descriptions are there which we can discuss later on, and everything cannot be understood just in one talk. It is of course it is sixth talk, but subject is like that. It is just exponent and many thoughts have been applied behind that. Procedure to interpret that chart shall be explained only when we take up chart, because just explaining here got no meaning at all. You cannot understand anything. We will discuss chart and then we will talk of that. We will take certain examples and discuss. And then it is effects and directs. It is already told you. Ruling effect, have I told you? Ruling effect I just uploaded, and in that what I have written actually I'll just explain to you that. So that is also very important. I have not I have not programmed that formula on that number data because it was not for me, not for me to understand. Means I'm not software developer. I just try to do as much as possible for me to reflect on Excel sheets so that you beneficial. But this replacement I find to I could not formalize on Excel due to my having less knowledge about Excel. It was done that time long before my more than a decade before I worked out of this formula in it was 1919. Sorry, yes. I started somewhere in 1999, 2000 or 2001, and it's about 18 years back I have written this formula. Until since then I have been working on this, but it says ruling effect shall be known by use of three parameters obtained by direct date of birth, its total effects by supporting numbers effects, equated number effects, including effects of sum total of date of birth, relevant supporting and equation effects, total values of 8, 5, and 2 established out of total of all these digits shall be. Well, what I'm saying is, what I did, I just put number, date, month, and year, and total of that date, month, year, and total. Then I supported these all digits by 8, 5, and 2 accordingly as it comes in, which is written here on ruling gradient. And then I got reflection number, result number, that is a basic date number into 6 plus 2, all for date, for month, for year, and for sum. And then all they are three rows now. One is date row, and second one is your substitution row, and third one is your result row, reflection row. I have to count out of these all digits first and write that this so many total digits of this date and replacement and result are these. Then I have to count how many 8s are there, how many 5 there, how many 2 there, and either after counting I have to plus and see total of how many 8, 5, 2 are there and how many total are there. So percentage you have to count how many 852 is percentage, that is called ruling percentage. It should be more than 60 if you are in Raj Yoga, or 70 it should be, 80 should be, can be. If you say you are no problem in life, if any problems comes to you, it should be wiped off. If you have 30%, 47, you are in a danger in that case. Danger in the sense you have to work hard, you will not get anything by your own power, you have to do a lot in your life. This is called ruling effect. To know a combined effect of persons and spouses, this we shall later on, because this also relates to that number data chart which I shall explain to you. I will not explain to you, and by just writing and speaking doesn't mean anything until we do practical work, and practical work is more important in this, because this subject is not based on any theory. This subject is based on practical understanding. To know whether some person shall cooperate with you, that is also in the same pattern, we cannot discuss now. To know how friendship mirror, this also in the same category. To know supernatural behavior of person, also all these means these are something which will be dependent on further study, further understanding. Reflective number supplementary interpretation also there. So all these are there, which we will discuss later on, and we'll see how can we take up those issues. For the time being, means we cannot jump on our conclusions at every fast speed. That doesn't help, and we have to wait for something. So what I have covered so far is in this talk is very basic, very basic, and without resorting, without going to read these files, posted on various sites like script.com, like Structural Engineers Forum, and directly written here on this text of this video. And these files of Word, files of Excel, file of PDF, means there is complete backup which you have to see if you are interested in this topic of imagination. No reality in this, not engineering, just in origin, just a flow of mind, a flow of thoughts, contemporary world without word. You have to first know what we are talking about. You have to establish mathematics in your mind, this arithmetic or mensuration type calculations, and how these charts were derived. You must have some knowledge if you can have for better. Otherwise, charts are available. That file is a formula file. That is not a file, something else. That file is available in both forms, PDF form, Excel form. PDF form is available on the script, but PDF form shall not help you because you cannot use that file. Wherever I tried to upload file on Structural Engineers Forum of India, and particularly Excel files, which are very useful. I have many files. I cannot upload all files because that site does not permit that. These files are memory files. I have many more files which I could not upload. I shall not like to upload because that will not serve any direct purpose to you. Only one file is number data file, which is very important, in which I have put some open a windows on that file and some closed windows. Windows, I mean to say, if there was a system in Excel, and there is a system. If you want to close certain cells so that nobody can edit those cells, you can use them. And there are certain cells where values are editable. You can keep them open. That arrangement was made on that file. And I have removed password also because I cannot tell password and people get confused in that. So in that file you can just write date, means date, month and year. You get answers immediately, spontaneous answers. Formula works and you get results. That is file number data. It's available in Excel form. I have given URL of that file, and with that file is a complex one, means it is a complete formula. It is difficult to understand that, but mathematically I have verified that. I have checked, I have worked up many calculation on that, on various considerations, and it took time for generating of this file. First understanding this formula, how to compose that. First I tried on Lotus long back when I was learning Lotus 123 in 1998. After that I tried because I could not get information about Lotus and Excel from my instructor who taught me about computer. I didn't know anything about computer those days. But I tried myself to generate how this formula can be used, how this Lotus 123 or Excel now, which is a copy of Lotus, because Bill Gates just copied that and used in his name. And Lotus also might have copied it themselves. Well, I don't know about that. But that is a powerful application of computers, of softwares. And if you use Excel or Lotus in that way, you can generate all these formulas. It's not auto sum or auto that. There are many formulas in Excel or in this auto sum is there, but also product is there, and division is there, multiplication there, square root is there, under root is there, trigonometrical formulas are there. All are there. If you want to apply, you can apply yourself. I have even generated this Excel file for my own designs and theory of structures for calculation of forces on frames in buildings or other formulas, and all engineers will use that. Though they are saying it is STAT Pro or it is this design, inside is the Excel. Everywhere this is concealed. They just conceal it for purpose of trade, for purpose of selling, for purpose of your patent or whatever you call it. They don't want to keep it open in this architecture because software is like that, and people want to say this is our achievement. But ultimately it is calculation. It's nothing else. Engineering means calculation, mathematics means calculation, physics, chemistry means calculations, and calculation means calculation. So this formula also which I am talking about, it is not something miraculous. It is based on calculations. I calculate a lot in this by calculator, by general calculations, and when I did know nothing about computer world, nothing about anything, I did that time manually, and I then tried it to convert to applications, and I successfully got this. Even though this ruling gradient I could not solve that, but I have to use formula again and again and solve it also. But it's not a very difficult question. There are just 9 numbers or 10 numbers. It's not big deal. It is not your mathematics. It's not your physics, chemistry, or formula in engineering, or theory of structure, or theory of mechanics, or strength of material, or whatever. It is very simple. Means being an engineer, or being a professor, or being a intellectual person who knows mathematics, or who knows mensuration, or who knows simple arithmetic, who knows trigonometry, for whom what is this calculation? A game of gate. So that is what it is. If you want to take interest, it's not big deal. When you have studied 35 subjects in engineering, what is this small one-fourth subject? It's just an approach only. Maybe this, you know, miss, you can understand. It's like you take symbols in mathematics. You take symbols in physics, chemistry, and stresses or in designs. Use many legions, use many symbols, use many theta, sine theta, cos theta, in trigonometry, tangent theta, and you gamma rays, you use many other symbols. Same idea, you can consider a symbol 0 to 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are symbols representing this, representing that, and then I use them to my best use, my life. If I am successful to use, to understand them better, because I am not relating to arbitrary arrangement or empirical. I am using it to flow of my mind, flow of my soul from my body, and if I am successful in getting grasp of that, it can be certainly logically used. No need of any shame or degree of style. You are talking about subject which you don't know. It's astrology. It is no. I'm not talking astrology. I'm not talking numerology because I don't believe in all those. Yes, these are subjects. Of course, those who are experts who can tell about that. But I don't know ABC of that, and I don't want to know, because astrology is linked to astronomy, and astronomy is physical sciences. Astronomy tells you what location of star is, what location of planet is, what altitude, what departure, what angle, what azimuth. All those is defined by astronomy, and that is science of space. I'm not related to that because this is on my subject and I'm not linked to that. I don't know ABCD of that. But astrologer wants to know from that, and he just takes that information and converts to its own interpretations, its own construction. It can tell you this is this, this is this is that. It just tells you this star or this planet is affecting you or not affecting you. That is not our view. Yes, they are there enjoying in that, and let them enjoy. I don't care for that. But I have classified this into different mode based on a century of Gregorian calendar or English calendar, you can call it. I didn't touch moon calendar, which is ours in our religion. I didn't touch sun calendar, which is in somewhere else. Vikram calendar, Saka calendar, those are not actually real calendars. These are based on moon position, and they say this half is Sikal Paksh and this half is this Paksh and that Paksh. They are lost in this, and let them remain lost. I don't care for that. I am not interested in that. My interest is sun time, sun calendar, and that calendar is Gregorian calendar, because Gregorian calendar is based on solar effect. It says there are 12 months in a year and 365 days in whole year, and how many years in a century days. That calendar is logical. That calendar is reasonable. Of course, there are some issues, 25 8 days in February and 31 days, 30 days, but ultimately it is 65 days and 12 months and 52 weeks in a calendar year. And that relates to sun, that doesn't relate to moon, because you have to live in sun, you have to work in sun. You are not going to work in moon is not definite. You will not find moon tiny, but sun is definite. Season wise, in summer this is sun morning time, this is evening time, and similarly in winter this is time. Means to some extent of practical understanding, to practical use, sun is applicable to us. Sun gives us heat. We work in sun, we walk in sun, we apply all efforts in sun. Night, even if there are night shifts, ultimately a shift is there, consideration is there. If not day night shift, but there's regularity in consideration of that effect, and regularity always constitutes system, and system means science, and science means knowledge. This is sequence of God. God created knowledge. We didn't know. We tried to know. We knew something. That knowledge became science, because science and systems are related, and those systems are further developed. And we have been using that physics and chemistry and biology and all. These are subjects, but these are systems ultimately. After having complete grasp of this understanding of systems and knowledge, we name them these subjects: astronomy, physics, chemistry, this, and this is in science and physical engineering. And if you say in non-physical or non-science, this is economics, this is civil, this is also system. We have some political system, we have some economical system, we have some civil system, we have some general system, we have some historical system. There are so many other systems. So system is management system, engineering system, non-engineering system, our medical system, all are same. Means human study is by dissection how this body works, how that works, and therefore medical system. Here we are forming how our soul works through our body. That is most basic principle. Is nothing else. I am not going into darkness. I am not jumping into skies. I am not doing anything which I cannot see. I am thinking something which I feel. That my heart is burning, my leg is paining, my mind is thinking. I cannot stop thinking. It's not very controlled. This happens. So why do you think, why mind is thinking, why mind is asking me to do this when I don't know what to do this? And my mind say, no, you have to think over this. My conscience says something to do this, I don't mind. I believe. But again mind says, no, so don't do this. This is wrong. This is logical. Mind says this is logical. So there is conflict. There is a conflict in our body itself. And that conflict is to be resolved. And who can resolve that? Your mind and your thoughts and your heart, your conscious and your own management has to decide whether this is right or this is wrong. This is what we are talking about. We are not talking about something rocket science. We are not talking about higher mathematics. We are not talking about integral and definite calculation. We are talking simple life, simple mathematics, simple nothing else. If you understand that, you can interpret yourself. It will not give any gold or silver. It just direct you whether you should do this or you should not do this, because logically it is not going to tell you. And there are in numbers both possibilities, plus and minus. It happens for all numbers are there. In one number is there, in three number is there, in six number it is there, in eight number is there. All majority of numbers are having both plus and minus considerations. And those conditions either stops you from doing something or forces you to do something. And that is most important point of view. Means suppositions are there, options are there, assumptions are there, and those assumptions are empiricalized, and after being empiricalized these are formalized, and that is formula we are using. I first conceived them, I thought on them, I then empiricalized them, I then observed with some people, I got certain answers, I interpreted something, I got some ratification of those or corroborations of those, and then I reached in a position. But this was not just in 1 month or 1 year. This took a long, long walk. And to a person who has an engineering brain, who has calculative brain, if this subject took a long walk, this means what about a person who doesn't have that? It means it would take centuries to understand that. So it's not. I'm not claiming on this anything. I am just conferring with you about something which I intend to progress it, intend to promote it, intend to see that this is used by people to their optimum benefit. It's no loot, it is no, you can say, avaricious way, it is no, you can say, charity. It is just a kind of sharing information. And it is information. For example, computer was generated. Who knew that there will be digital language, there will be 0 and 1 will make language? In computer, there's nothing. If you just see 0 and 1 game, digital, it is called digital. 0 and 1, they are dominating in computer world. And this 0 and 1 made itself a language, and this changed to machine language by using 0 and 1 digits. Means so many combination of 0 and 1 that you created a whole machine language. And that machine language created a whole work of spectrum, whole work of architecture of computers, hardware and software. And now you see we are dipped in computer world, we are dipped in software and hardware. We cannot come out of that because of somebody's work. And that work is so successful that even though it is not fully perfect, there are variations there. There are viruses in that, there are lockups in that, there are hangovers in that, yet we are using. If two Excel files or two files, when you open together, they clash with each other, they are interlocked. Have you ever observed? If you open one file, then you open another file, and many times I got locked up on computer file in Excel system. Locked up. This is opening, that is opening, and there is trap both together. We cannot open, we are locked up. So you hang up. So we just close those files again and take one by one. Still there are problems in computer softwares and programs even made by Bill Gates or by whatsoever. Nothing is perfect yet. I did a lot of work in Excel when I was free time in some country, and I used them to my work, to design work, and I linked. One time I linked hundreds of files together by cell management, by added. When I send one some that some problem and send a query to Excel owner, MS, I have got some problem here, I have been so failed. He just didn't answer that. Nobody answered from there. There's a remote system. Mohit, why you are using my system like this? Miss Yohanu writes, I formalize the file, many files, link them, hyperlink them. And it was acting like it was a supporting software. Means if I open one, many other files could be opened in that. But that gentleman did not reply because in the next version he removed that program. He removed that version. He said, no, I didn't tell me enough. And I was surprised to see this. They want their software to be used according to them only. What they say. Don't use your way. Who are they to stop me? My question is that. It's my mind. Of course, it is your program, it is your sheet, but I have a right to use this. I want to use on mathematics, I will use on maths, I will use on science, I will use on whatever I wish. Who are you to stop me? I have paid you. For its use, and I'm using it. They will not even writing anything because they are stealers. They have copied somebody's work and they put their seal on that. This is mine. Lotus used it. Lotus copy was stolen by MS, and Lotus might have stolen some more. I don't know because this is of calculations. Nobody can generate calculation. Nobody can invent a calculation. It is calculator. Before this computer, calculator was invented, and calculator could give scientific answers. When I was studying, first time I got calculator when I was doing my engineering graduation, it was FX31. Until that time, we used to calculate by log tables, and before that slide rule, I don't know slide rule. I don't need log table. Then I got computer FX31, which was very expensive that time in 1980, and it was 500 rupees in those days. 550 was a big sum, but we had to buy because this was the original contributor from Japan, and we used it. It was allowed in examination. It was very complicated. We had some comfortable that we could work in examination and give results. But this is not your copy. Calculation is already there. What you have done, you have connected calculative power to all these cells of your shield, Lotus 1 to 3 seal or Excel sheet. In beginning, there were 8,138 rows in beginning in that. Then they like there's more than 65,000 Excel, and then furthermore to lakhs. You are just expanding your sheet for purpose of showing that we are so big. But ultimately, it is calculation. It is mathematics, nothing else. You have devised a system in which each cell is connected to calculation word, and we are using that. So this is not your original. You may claim it is original. It is a system you expanded, but calculator is there. Without calculator, your Excel sheet cannot work. Your Lotus cannot work. But we are using that. Now, we are not fighting who's stolen this, from whom is stolen, or why. It is your business, you do it. It is our business, we will use this, and we are using this. 80% people don't know what is Excel. They don't know. They just want to keep simple calculations of this, some auto sum, this and that. So much can be done. And for example, Stat Pro is developed, some other design project is developed. They are inserting in concealed world same and projecting something else. Yes, drawing is projected, that is AutoCAD. They have inserted AutoCAD also. They have inserted commands also. So product is Stat Pro, product is some other one. That is there. They are be fooling us. Let them be fool, no problem. We are not current one of be fool. Let them do whatever we want. We are working for us. We shall be working for us. It is our job. We will do it. It is our life. We will manage it. But what I am saying is, we are using already something available to generate our own. Purpose of computer is to save your time. It is no other purpose. I used to work without computers in whole my life. When I started my work, I was just 18, 19 years old, and then we used to do every work manually. We used to draw manually, we used to draw our bar charts, we used to calculate our quantities, our designs, just using maximum use of computer, nothing else. No other instrument was there except calculator, that too at later stage when I was near completing my degree. So I did everything manually. I didn't know simple calculations or log table use. And before my seniors were there, they used slide rules. And before that, I don't know what was used. So this is development of engineering, development system, and you are bound to use them. Now computer is like calculator. If you don't use computer, you cannot move. Before we had typewriters and we used to the quick brown for example, so little we used to write that. It's gone. Now we are using directly by single one finger and Who bothers about his typing speed and all that? Nobody bothers. We, by seeing, by looking at keyboard, we write and we do everything. That's permissible, no problem. After all, this use of computer. We are making use of computer for services. We are not doing typing service to someone. We are doing work of our subject, work of our writing, work of our analysis, work of calculation, work of drawing, work of research. All that is being done. We are doing formalizing ourselves, then using those formulas ourselves. It saves our time. Only difficulty is the start of composition. We are composing, after we are editing. This benefit we are drawing from this computer world, and which is very good, means we are saving time, but at the same time we are doing competition here. Everybody who produces something, oh, I have done this out, then what happens? Competition. The competition, when too much competition, their quality drops also, because everybody is in a hurry. I want to submit and I want to submit without having real thought, without having deliberated studies, without having conferences, without having real in-depth knowledge. People are just coming forward. I am this, I have done, and this. Result is lapse of quality. So if computer has given projection qualities, if it has given presentence qualities, it has also given error quality. Both are there. It gives errors. Before we were really practical, because we know what should be result. If computer gives some mistakes, we can say yes, this computer result is wrong. But those who are new people, who do not have that experience of working by hands or by minds, they just take what computer gives, and that takes to accidents. They don't have original knowledge. Their mind cannot be that active as old mind were. They just depend on computer. Instead of slaving computer to you, you have been slaves to computer. Well, I don't know why I go to computer, but just for going to for numbers, I just feedback that I'm using this computer, and this computer has been used to use these numbers in certain way. And I will take up this later on, and I will like to take it in other language, Hindi also later on, because at this moment I want to project it to whole world, not to our people only, because this belongs to everything. This is something given to me. It doesn't mean it's for me. It's for whole people. If they want to use, or if they don't want to use, it's up to them. They are welcome if they use. If they don't want to take interest, nobody can force somebody to take interest. It's your way. It's your life. If you don't. Every day there are rashis in paper, zodiacs is there in paper. Somebody reads, somebody. It's up to you. But this is business for some pundits and some forecast person, foretellers, and some professionals who are there, and people touch their feet, take appointments and pay them lakhs of rupees and thousands of rupees for consultancy, while consultancy is all false. But people are interested in that because they talk God, they talk Saturn, they talk Rahu Ketu, they talk Jupiter, they talk this and that. They say go to temple with one coconut, spread this, go to means पैसे चढ़ा दो. They say go there and do this, and they just play with your sentiments. They play with your emotions. They play with this scares, means they are a fear of God. They encash your fear of God. That's all. They're vastu. They play with your vastu effect, and they are making money. I have seen people, such bloody people in this world. They broke their house to make it again because vastu said. They broke lakhs of rupees of houses just to make amendments to that because Vastu doesn't permit that. Such people are there. Can you help them? You cannot help them. Because when you don't use mind, you use faith. And when you use mind, you don't use faith. This is life. Mind and belief are always opposite world. While mind is the best belief, but they don't believe in mind, they believe in conscious, they believe in faith. And I want to eliminate that level of stupidity, because faith is not justified, faith cannot guarantee, faith cannot assess, it just creates negativism. But negativism, very big department, very big spectrum in calculations, because without negativism, positivism cannot be achieved. Negativism brings positivism. Positivism is not in its own, it's based on negativism. That is what I said. Well, I think it's too long, but these numbers in itself are ordinary numbers, not spiritual numbers in fact, but these relate to spiritual locations, soul locations, a process moving into our body, that locations, and with that relation, keeping in view keeping abreast. These numbers have become different one. These numbers can be used in your life, but only when we understand about these numbers. And once if you understand about these numbers, it can be a wealth for you. I have been using number in my life, I openly say, and I tell people also, but they don't listen. Once they get impacted upon, they come back. I'm not charging any fees. Some people talk to me on phone also. My friends who work with me, they time to time they call me. They are not happy to learn it. I ask many people, why don't you learn it? It's not difficult. They don't want to learn. They just want to ask. Oh, please tell me, this is my problem. My sister is this, my brother is this, and this. Yes, they only ask questions. They are not interested to learn. And that is my problem. If you are not interested to learn, you will learn only those subjects which give you profession, which gives you money, where you can earn. You will not learn anything for your spiritual movement, for your upgradation of your life. You will not learn that because this is human weakness. We are behind money. Till time I leave this world, I shall be behind money as if I take money with me to God's home. This is human being and this is weakness of me. We always worship Lakshmi, we never worship Saraswati. Often very few people worship Lakshmi. I don't understand why. Why don't you take both Devis together? Can Lakshmi buy Saraswati or can Saraswati buy Lakshmi? Both are questions. How can Lakshmi buy Saraswati? Tell me. If there is money with you, very simple question. You have too much money. You want to invest that money, but you have no way to invest. You cannot throw it in the jungle so that these acts like seed and trees grow, money grow. You have to invest in some way. If you don't have any program, can you invest that money? You cannot. If you want to invest, you have to either start some industry, you have to start some business, you have to start some investment. But investment also needs some business, some further structure. You have to either promote township, you have to promote some industry, you have to promote some transport, you have to do something which is based on science and engineering. Without that, you cannot receive money. So investment also needs knowledge. If you want to industry, a cement industry, for example, you want to start, steel industry also, how shall you start which you don't have anything? You need knowledge for that, you need land for that, you need design for that, you need science for that, you need chemical process for that. You want to start chemical plant, or you can say start some refinery or offshore project you want to start to extract oil. You need every complete technical know-how, detailed know-how before starting anything. So there is Saraswati. Where is Lakshmi there? Lakshmi cannot be invested without Saraswati. Why don't we understand this? Both are together. But we know, Om Lakshmi Garega, only Lakshmi, Lakshmi Ganesh. We will not go to Saraswati because it is difficult. It takes this, when you spend to this much, you are not happy. Oh, it's too much stress. I want to live life, common life. This is our country's problem. Both are linked. And then third one is also linked to that. When both things are there, there's restriction too. After life is over, plant life is over, say it is considered 30 years plant life somewhere, it is 40 years considered, building life is considered for some year. After that, it is to go, means you cannot keep it forever. So three are there. Same thing here in mind. Three properties are there, three attributes are there. But we don't want to understand that. We want to understand only that is there and we are living, we are using that in a positive way. Until we keep negativism with us, we cannot use positivism. They say, when you are in trouble, you go to God. God help me, I am in trouble. If you go to God when you are happy, I think you will not see trouble. But we don't go to God when we are unhappy. Oh, I have this problem. I am sick. I am going to God. Please help me. I could not pass examination. Please help me. I have some family problems. Help me. Why don't you visit regularly as a duty of your life if you want to respect Him? Either condemn or accept fully. Just like you eat daily, you drink daily, you sleep daily. Make either a part of your life or condemn it. Don't use it. That is best approach. Same thing, regularity, punctuality, system is important in your life. If you cannot develop your life as aid, as system, you are wasting your time. Use your numbers into your life in a way required so that you keep up moving in a positive direction regularly without any problems. When you consider God as your parent, as your head of family, as your head of life, God shall take your care. Though He will take your care in every respect, but once you force Him by visiting Him every time, by asking Him, please do this, or He will Himself do it. Because this is, God is also having soul, like we have soul. Like my father, your father take my care without even asking for me. That father shall also take my care, but that mother Devi shall also take my care. They are bound to take because I am with them, not away from them. So this approach you have to adopt, irrespective of which religion you belong to. I don't know that. I don't want to know that, because there is only one religion, and that's humanity, and there is one religion, this superpower. No other religion for me, no other faith for me. I believe in one faith, and that is soul, and that soul comes from God, and God is master of everyone, owner of everyone. All it knows of Sikh side, they make al bhal. I don't consider anyone, because when you are born, you are not Muslim, you are not Hindu, you are not Christian, you are not Sikh, you are nothing. You just adopt after you are getting birth. Baptism is done, Christianism, whatever is done in whatever religion, I don't care. I came as human being, I'll go soul. That's all. I came as human because I came in body and soul, and I'll go back only in soul. This body will not go with me. Nothing will go with me. That's the problem. Is I don't take this body in which I came back as dead body. No, I will not take. I cannot. I'm not allowed at all, because this belongs to this earth. This phenomenon will not understand. Once you understand all this world shall be free for you. You will not be in a problem that I have this problem, because there is no problem at all. We are creating our problems ourselves. Life is make two chapatis or two roti khao and some sabji and pani. You can live. We are wearing clothes because we are thinking it's protecting us. If we expose our body without clothes, just like Jain Mahatmas do or sannyasis do, you will be happy that also. Your body will resistant to that adverse effect of winter or cold or hot or all that. It depends upon practice, but from since birth we are using our clothes, but we did not come in clothes. This is that. How you customize yourself, it applies. When I can keep my face open, I can live. I can keep my eyes open, I can live. But I am covering all this portion because there is secrecy. That's why I am covering. If I keep that also open, I can live. What's the problem? Animals are living without clothes, cows, buffaloes, dogs, or camels, or trees, and all that. Mountains. All nature is clothless. Only I am clothful. This is my problem. I have defected my body to an environment which requires clothes. That's anyhow. It's already long one. I'm closing it down. This one. Next one we'll talk to you. Thank you very much for your time. We'll consider this, and next one we will take advanced one studies in this regarding further contemplation and taking some examples. Thank you very much for your time. So yeah,